However, Su Tian and Su He, who were standing on the challenge arena, were shocked when they saw the cloud dance. Is it them? They just arrived soon, naturally did not hear the first round of ridicule. However, no one present knows the strength of cloud dance better than them. I'm afraid I can't forget the scene that Yunwu beat him to fly. They used to belong to the Samurai Academy. This cloud dance mouth with a sneer, listening to the irony, mouth slightly a hook, a dark light in the eyes. She would slap these taunts on their mouths and tell them that even if the dog can't spit out ivory, it shouldn't look down on people. Are you 6 contestants from the Samurai Academy? The Win 7 old white eyebrow, one Yang. Some query of want to confirm. Cloud dance lifted Mao indifferently to sweep Win 7 old one eye. Icy cold way, yes. Win 7 old listen to students you a word IA language. Sharp eyes of God has been exploring looking at the cloud. But in the heart is murmuring, this wench is really others say of so bad? Although this wench surface looks like a sick chi deficiency, but the 5 old guys of the God King can grow up in the sky. Although they have lost for several years in a row, the strength of the people selected to compete in each year is not bad. How did you get such a little girl to take the lead this time? Is this girl hiding her strength on purpose? Old Fengqi missed it from the bottom of his heart. His mental strength came out, and he wanted to feel the strength of Yunwu. But after he tried, his face darkened. No, empty nothingness. He can't see the strength of this girl. Is this girl hiding her strength? Or is it really rubbish? For a moment, Fengqi couldn't see through it. It was the first time in his life. Fengqi frowned and thought to himself, however, my heart is inexplicable to cloud dance. Look forward to it. It's in bursts of ridicule and ridicule. Cloud dance eyes indifferently went to the challenge arena, followed by the 5 men like followers, posture, momentum, feel all have. Because it was in the corner of the crowd was standing and their sight was slightly blocked. The emperors of the 3 kingdoms only heard what people said, but they didn't see anyone. I know. When Yunwu and others stepped on the challenge arena and saw their appearance clearly, Zhou Batian and Mo Yebing's eyes suddenly changed. Ink night, ice-cold eyes, suddenly dark looking at the clouds. Is that her? Although at this time Cloud Dance 9 young lady's appearance with the original appearance has the profound difference, but on the body that breath actually how also can't change. He had absorbed the strength of her, but he couldn't forget that breath. After looking for her for so long, she escaped every time, but this time she sent her to the door. Just when his eyes of Sun Bing touched another white willow, Sun Han in his eyes suddenly narrowed up and a deep, invisible meditation swept by. Why is he here? When Zhou Batian saw the cloud dance, his sharp eyes flashed a trace of depth. The waste of the past can fight on behalf of the Samurai Academy today. This period is only a few months. During this period, he heard some news about how Yunwu was promoted to the inner college. Although the college deliberately conceals, the information is not very clear. But this wench, what strength is concealed necessarily? The Cloud family has never told him, however, when Zhou Batian swept to Zhou Feiyu, a touch of complex color passed in his sharp eyes. Of his many sons, perhaps this one is the best. However, being too good is sometimes a crime, especially in front of the imperial power. But how did he get to the college? On behalf of the Samurai Academy? And finally, his eyes swept that dragon to pour evil. For Long Qingxie, his eyes are dark. He is a waste exchange son. Does this waste appear here to discredit him? Zhou Bie was very angry at the bottom of his eyes. However, seeing the smiling appearance of Situ Jin, the king of and around him, he forced his face not to be gloomy. This touch of questioning inquiry, sarcasm, and ridicule, Cloud Dance all look in the eyes, feel in the heart, including Zhou Batian's angry eyes. At the corner of his mouth, he suddenly outlined a strange arc. She will make Zhou Batian like a pug, respectful and smiling to her. She will make all the people in mainland China think she is a waste and shut up. She will let those who dislike her continue to dislike her. She likes the way that she dislikes her and can't get rid of her. Everyone be quiet. I'll announce the match. Win 7 old looking at the noisy crowd. White eyebrow, a horizontal. A touch of cold voice shocked the whole stadium. Cloud dance, eyes looking at wind, 7 old eyebrow. Peak, to pick for a while. Marshall St. medium term strength. Pretty good. Because it's an academic competition of the 3 kingdoms, the competition will be carried out according to the rules set in previous years, leaving behind the traditional way of promoting popularity. Last time, the winner was Huangshu College, so in the first game of this year, Huangshu College will fight against Longkong College first. The winner will continue to challenge Shenhuang College, until the winner will be judged as the winner and become the champion of the 3 kingdoms competition. However, just as the old saying of Fengqi came down, a sudden voice rang out. I have a condition to add. Qing Feng, who just competed with Xiao Lingrui, glanced at the cloud dance, hummed coldly, and turned to look at Xiangfeng Qilao. Wind 7 old, white eyebrow, a coagulation, some sullen, long beard floated up. At what condition? For the first time? There is no conditional rule. Qing Feng's eyes flashed a touch of annoyance, but soon covered up, but glanced at the cloud and sneered. My condition is very simple. If we Huangshu College win, I want them to bow to us on behalf of Shenhuang College. I believe this condition is very simple for them. Wind 7 old listened to words, face suddenly a change. The vicissitudes of life, chilly eyes looking at Qing Feng, slightly with a warning. Young man, do things to stay 3 points. This truth also need the old man to teach you. However, Qing Feng didn't think so. If you don't dare to accept this kind of simple condition, then the people of Shenhuang Samurai Academy are really scum. Provocation? In other words, is it a slap in the face of the king of Zhou or a stumbling block in front of the king of Zhou? Then if you lose, bow. It's a shame. If you don't answer, you will be humiliated in public. No matter which one, for Zhou Batian, his face will not look good. Originally, Yunwu would not care about the face of Zhou dynasty or even Zhou Batian. However, in the face of this provocation, it has also aroused considerable interest in cloud dance. I accept your terms on behalf of the Samurai Academy, but we also have one. Cloud dance glances at Qing Feng, one eye. Mao Guang center Mang delimits. The corner of the mouth micro evokes a touch of creepy smile. This is the reason why Qing Feng attaches conditions. He just can't stand a waste and has such a cool and arrogant attitude. However, he has all kinds of martial arts skills, but he has no brain to think about. Don't you think it's not strange that 5 men are willing to follow if Yunwu is really a waste? Wind 7 old listened to cloud dance to challenge. Eyebrow, tiny as see you. I don't know why. There is always a bad feeling in my heart. I agree to your terms, as long as you agree to mine. Qing Feng sneers and glances at the cloud with disdain. Xiaoling Rui wants to reach out to stop Qing Feng from talking big, but it's too late. He can only sigh and take back his hand, which is still in midair. And Su Tian and Su He looked at each other and looked at the maple with a smile. As if watching a clown in general. I really don't know what to do. If someone doesn't challenge me, I will challenge that girl. It's obvious that you're going to die. I agree with your condition. But my condition is that if the Shenhuang Samurai Academy wins the championship, the Huangshu Samurai Academy will be dissolved and completely disappear in the mainland of China, such as the sharp edge of the tone, bloodthirsty smile, slightly yawn. That double star eye is suffused with a touch of dark red light, just like the posture of Hel Rosha, looking at the stunned Qing Feng. Dissolution? She said, to dissolve the Huangshu Warrior Academy? Qing Feng thought he heard wrong. Until he looked at her that pair of inexplicable strange eyes. He was sure that he did not hear wrong. All the people in the challenge arena were shocked to see the cloud dance. I can't seem to believe it. It's a waste word. Zhou Batian looked at the cloud dance, and his thick eyebrows coagulated slightly. There seems to be some doubts. She has such a big voice. Is she really strong? But Sita Jin didn't get angry when he heard this sentence. On the contrary, he laughed with a sense of mystery that belonged to the emperor. Sit beside him, natural and unrestrained. C2 Lan hears his words. Stare, big eyes. Can't believe, of curl a mouth. Then, just like a smile, dignified side tone. It seems that Huangshu College can't keep it. Then he moved his eyes to Long Qingxie. His eyes were quiet, and his heart was reading. Your woman took my baby, let my golden eagle betray me, and swallowed me at college. How to calculate this account? You have the ability to stop it yourself. That's your woman. That's why you let yourself stop it. Sidolan's eyes stare at Long Qingxie, and the corners of his mouth twitch fiercely. When he has a daughter-in-law, he forgets his brother's guy. Looking up at Yunwu's strong posture, Fengqi frowned. Girl, is this? Let's agree to this additional condition. What if a blind cat bumps into a dead mouse? Cloud Dance glances at the wind's seven-old one eye. The corner of the mouth is hanging a shallow smile, but the cold light in the eyes is a flash. Wind seven-old, one lung. Yes, he was right. He saw the murderous chill in the girl's eyes. Is she threatening him? However, the wind seven-old, but soon the corner of the mouth smoked. Because the wind seven Mr. feels his martial saint strength, always does not take the strength in front of her. This wench's strength should not really be above him? If that's the case, the Three Kingdoms game will be, well, the conditions will take effect, and the game will start tomorrow. Fengqi felt his forehead helplessly, and 3 black lines appeared on his forehead. See, that wind seven-old a promise, the ground of ridicule suddenly again hit. Beyond our capacity, we still clamor with our Huangshu Samurai Academy. It's a dream to have a chance for a blind cat to meet a dead mouse. A large group of students from Huangshu Samurai Academy began to mock Yunwu and spit out Xingzi, hoping to drown her. Cloud Dance eyes calm, ignore everyone's eyes, turned and walked off the stage. Long Qingxie followed closely. Although he did not speak, but the eye of Mo Yebing did not look at him less, as if want to see something from him. And that Mo Yi eyes wants to see what come. Long Qing evil nature is very clear. Unfortunately, as long as he does not want to reveal, no one can see anything from him. But soon, in the moment Liu Bai stepped down from the stage, he glanced at the dark eyes, looked at the ice in the dark night, and the bottom of his eyes swept a touch of deep. Then he left. When they left, Mo Yebing also helped Long Yaozi to leave. Dragon Qing evil secretly glanced at the figure they left, eyes deep as the abyss. It was not until their figure came out of sight that he withdrew his eyes and walked with them. His body was filled with a trace of indifference, bloodthirsty and cold. Yunwu can naturally feel his breath, or the fluctuation of his heart at the moment. But she didn't break it or comfort him. What she can do is to do everything to help him recapture everything that belongs to him and let everything return to the track that belongs to him. The mountain wing room behind Nyantai. The night is charming. The cold moonlight is wiping the earth, quiet and quiet. The 3 powers gather together, and the 3 kingdoms competition is on the verge. It seems that it will be an uneasy night. Under the starry moonlight, a touch of dark shadow swept by, in addition to the wind speed microdrama, did not leave a trace of abnormality. How did you go to the Samurai Academy? I haven't heard of you before. A touch of cold sound without a trace of temperature broke the quiet night, and the temperature around also dropped abruptly. Follow that woman. Mo Bai looked at Mo Yebing, and his lonely eyes couldn't say what was flashing. What did you find? The night of ink is frozen and white, and the air around is cold for a moment. I find the abnormality in his eyes. Not yet. Mo Bai didn't see Mo Yebing, but lowered his head. Mo Yi gave him a cold glance. Didn't you find out? Is this possible? But Mo Yebing didn't ask any more. After a cold glance at Mo Bai, his figure suddenly disappeared in front of him, and the ice-like bone gradually disappeared. Under the dark night, a slight sigh slowly exhaled. He knew he couldn't cheat him with anything. On the other side, Long Qingxie and Sidolan are having a long talk. The moon is fading and the lake is shining. If you want to take back what belongs to you, you must get rid of him first. Sidolan's eyes narrowed slightly, and a touch of cold swept through his eyes. Long Qingxie nodded undeniably, and the evil spirit's eyes raised a casual smile. It's not easy to get rid of him, and I can't wait, but But what? Sidolan glanced at him and asked, wouldn't it be better for him to take me back himself? Dragon Ching, evil pick eyebrow. The corner of the mouth swept a cold radiant. It's not so easy to get rid of Moibing. The last time he joined hands with Yunwu, he was so embarrassed that he almost lost her. This time, although he and Yunwu's strength have improved a lot, they are not sure to kill the Moibing. What's more, there is a mysterious beast gate behind him. If there is another way, he would rather choose one that can reduce the risk, whether it's for her or for myself. Plan and act. When Sidolan heard this, he frowned. When he sent you away from Long Shugua, how could he personally take you back? Or do you already have a way? Dragon Ching Evil does not answer, just outlined the corner of the mouth, died with that strange smile. Tomorrow. Let's start tomorrow and get back on track. However, at this time, a touch of the evening breeze, a touch of bloody taste, invaded the tip of their nose. Long Qingxia Situlan's eyes sank and looked at each other. Two white figure instant sweep out toward that white blood to seek. In the quiet night, they were like shuttle figures, rolling leaves, cutting through the cold wind, and instantly disappeared in sight. When the dragon approached the blood behind the tree, there was a trace of meditation in his eyes. There was only one bloodstain on the tree trunk. From the bloodstain, we could see that it was obviously blocked by a sword, but there was no body. In the corner of Long Qingxia's, I suddenly noticed that there was a finger in the corner under the tree trunk, as if it had been torn down by something. Then he raised a curve in the corner of his mouth. This little thing, it always makes him so upset. Sidolan swept around his eyes and naturally found the broken finger in the corner. Just then, the patrol in the wing room appeared from the corner. Who are you? With a drink, a patrol guard came forward. Long Qingxia with Black Dosha and Situlan without any panic stood in the same place and looked at the patrol guard. When the patrolman saw the dragon of Black Dosha, he immediately saw that he was the son of the Waste Dragon who represented the king of God Warrior Academy. On the other hand, it's very eye-catching. But this is the student's wing room. He's with Long Jun. Maybe he's also a student of Shinwan College. It turned out that he was one of the representative students of the Samurai Academy, Long Shitsi. What are you doing here so late? But at this time, the patrol guard suddenly swept to the tree trunk into a radial bloodstain. What's the matter with the blood? The patrol guard looked at Long Qingxia and Situlan, and his eyes were alert. Is it abnormal to have a little blood? Long Qingxia glanced at the patrol guard and slightly raised his eyebrows. Blood is normal? This is not normal? The guard picked up half a finger on the ground and gave a cold hum. Isn't that normal? How can I look at your finger as if it's one more? Dragon Ching, evil Black Dosha, under the canthus overflow of blood-sucking light. Even across the Black Dosha, it seems that people can feel that pair of eyes looking at the creepy weird. He is not waste. However, at this time, the momentum is absolutely not what waste should have. What's going on? There was a flash of fear in the guard's eyes. Looking at the dragon, his fingers trembled slightly, and half of them fell to the ground. I don't see anything. Dragon Ching, evil mouth, slightly a yawn. In this very period, smart people will choose this answer. The bodyguard nodded in a daze, and the rigid figure quickly disappeared in front of them like an arrow. Your woman seems to have caused trouble for you again. Situlan smiles warmly, and his eyes pass by a trace of helplessness. I'll go first. Without waiting for Situlan to say anything, the white figure of Long Qingxia has disappeared like a meteor. Situlan half narrowed his eyes and thought about something. He left after a long time. The fifth, under the moonlight and stars. Yunwu looks at the black-robed corpse lying under him, with a bloodthirsty smile on the corner of his mouth. Blood from the chest of the black-robed man flows out, reflected in the moonlight, reflected into the eyes of Cloud Dance, making the bloodthirsty eyes more chilly. Who sent it? Behind him, a low magnetic voice rang. Cloud Dance looked back at the dragon Qingxia, slightly shook his head. The mouth is very hard. Can't force out. Today, after Long Qingxia left, she just wanted to have a rest, but she found someone lurking on her roof and killed her all the way. Originally, I wanted to keep two people alive and continue to press questions, But I didn't expect that in the end. All 5 were killed. Dragon Ching, evil mouth, slightly a Yang. Seems to have some helplessness. Kill the kill. Ignite ice all appeared. Other people are not important. Cloud dance, tiny jaw head. She does some strange. If these people are not MOEI sent, that is who sent? Is it difficult for them to be surrounded by people of the Beast Gate all the time? Is it? As the rising sun rises to the east, the dense sun adds a layer of hazy beauty to Nirvana. Today is the beginning day of the Three Kingdoms competition. The surrounding of the challenge arena is difficult for the onlookers, and all the people in the challenge arena are here. The emperors, princes, and ministers of the Three Kingdoms, as well as the contestants, are in place. Old Finchi swept around and found that all the contestants had arrived, and the white eyebrows raised. I declare the game begins. The first match, Dragon Sky Warrior Academy versus Huangshu Warrior Academy. As the old saying of Finchi falls, the players of the 2 colleges go to the challenge arena together. As soon as the 2 schools came on stage, there was a boiling, roaring sound under the challenge arena, which was even more happy than when they came on stage. Yunwu is a little curious. Why do other colleges have students to cheer on, while their college has only 6 of them? Are you afraid of losing face? Or are you afraid of winning face? However, it is estimated that the old man of NEI College feels that he has lost 3 times in a row and has no face to be cheered by others. Of course, this is the Cloud Dance psychological guess. As for whether or not, she is not very interested. Cloud Dance lazily glanced at the challenge arena, then slightly dropped his eyes. Eyes hazy, appeared a touch of sleep. I was tossed by those black-robed people in the middle of the night last night, and didn't sleep much. Today, I can make up for my missing sleep. This game has been regardless of her business. She is not in the mood to watch the results. 1 second before the battle, Su Tian Su, he also looked back at Yunwu, hoping to see Yunwu's interested eyes or excited look. As a result, they almost lost their chin. Yunwu is sleeping there. And the dragon around her seems to have no interest, half squinting lazily, and seems to be bathing in the sun. People look at the fierce competition on the stage, and then look at the humble corner. Lazy 6 people are doing their own things, completely irrelevant. I can't help but see a black line on my forehead. Are they here to play? Why don't you look nervous? Is it because there is no chance of winning at all, so it just doesn't matter? Then it's a competition. Yunwu naturally doesn't care what they think, a lazy sleepy nap. Although it's a competition between 2 colleges. But after all, they're all top-notch in the college. It's not so easy to decide the outcome. The game started in the morning and didn't end until noon. With the announcement of Fingillo, Huangshu Samurai Academy won. Cloud Dance just lifted to lift eyelid. Looking at the stage, happy Ching Feng, the corner of the mouth pulls out a touch of radiant. Thanks to this speed, he was as happy as a pie. There were cheers and sighs among the students present, forming 2 extreme states. On the one hand, he seemed to face the sky and roar wildly. On the other hand, he looked dim and had no choice but to shake his head. Huangshu College won again, because just after the game, the court had a short rest. After half a ring, in the next match, Huangshu Warrior Academy will compete with Zhan Shenwang Warrior Academy in a single-player competition. Huangshu Warrior Academy will be the first to draw lots. Under the glare of the crowd, Xiaoling Rui went to the stage to draw lots and gave it to Feng Qilao. Feng Qi opened the note and saw that his face changed slightly. Then he cleared his throat and said, Xiaoling Rui is dancing with the clouds. Not only Xiaoling Rui, but also everyone was in a moment of consternation. But then there was a burst of sarcastic comments. Xiaoling Rui was one of the top 3 experts in Huangshu College. He was a waste. Is it too easy and boring to win? I hope Xiaoling Rui can solve the problem with 1 blow, so as not to waste too much time. Yunwu stands up in everyone's sarcastic smile, takes a cold glance at the crowd, and then closes her eyes and walks to the stage. Be careful, or your husband's heart won't stand it. As she left, the sound of Dragon's evil spirit rang from behind her. Cloud Dance, a little step. Then, he went to the challenge arena without looking back. Xiaoling Rui looked at the Cloud Dance in front of him, but was slightly shocked by the coldness of her body, especially the bloodthirsty cold smile on her lips, which made him feel a little untouchable. He never felt that way. What's going on? Clearly her face is morbid weak, the whole image of a waste. However, why does her breath? The game begins. With the Win 7-0 to drink, Xiao Lingrui can only quickly adjust their own state of mind. Maybe he's oversensitive. Xiao Lingrui. Cloud dance. Two people are slightly jaw-head, introduce each other, then each step back. The game is ready to start. Cloud dance glances at Xiao Lingrui, the talent of blue rank, the peak of great martial arts master. This strength is already the top master in the mainland of China. It seems that there are a lot of talents in Huangshu Warrior Academy, and Xiao Lingrui has been inquiring about cloud dance. What surprised him again was that he felt strange just now, but when he looked at it carefully, there was no fluctuation. It was like a black hole with no bottom. He can't see through her strength? The people in the challenge arena will not understand his surprise. They are all watching a good play and urging him to finish the fight. Xiao Lingrui could not help wrinkling his forehead. Are the students of Samurai Academy so brainless? Just he didn't know. Cloud danced from the beginning. In order to avoid the limelight, deliberately hide their own spiritual breath. He just can't feel her strength. But the people under the stage can't even feel her spiritual power. Suddenly, the atmosphere on the challenge arena was abnormal. Xiao Lingrui wind element looms, intends to test the strength of cloud dance with a blow. In a flash, the wind properties such as the yellow torrent of water surged, the whole air filled with green undercurrent. The wind whirled in the air, like a sharp blade sweeping. Cloud dance raised a bloody smile at the corner of his mouth, and the excitement in his eyes was slightly hooked up. Just when the wind came, the clouds were shining with green light. It was as fast as a shuttle, but everyone saw it. Just in a moment, the wind attribute disappeared. What did she do? The audience looked at the cloud dance, and their eyes were surprised. But still others think it's just a fluke and a coincidence. Dragon Qingxia's mouth is dyed with a smile. He looks at the cloud dance on the challenge arena and gives a deep smile. His woman is now blooming like a star. And the other four people, also completely did not have the hazy sleepiness just now, are staring at the stage for a moment, corners of the mouth with a light smile. Win 7 old vicissitudes of the mouse on a hook, looking at cloud dance tiny a consternation. That wench, but didn't even move to dissolve so strong wind attribute? How is that possible? Is it true that this girl's strength has surpassed him? Feng Qi's face changed slightly, but he couldn't hide his excitement. Xiao Lingrui's beautiful phoenix eyes were dancing in the clouds. The corners of his mouth moved unconsciously, but he was deeply surprised in his eyes. He felt the bloodthirsty light around the cloud dance, and he wanted to stop talking. No matter whether her strength is hidden or real waste. This competition is about the glory of Huangshu College. He can't lose it. It seems that we need to fight as hard as we can. Suddenly, he drew out his sword, coagulated the wind attribute. His figure trembled and instantly danced towards the clouds. It's too fast to capture. In an instant, I saw a long sword straight into Yunwu's chest. The crowd screamed and cheered for Xiao Lingrui's perfect blow. But only Xiao Lingrui's body trembled, and his eyes were startled, which made him look unbelievable. No stab. How? How possible? Then, the smile on everyone's lips gradually froze. Ha ha ha. It's not the daughter of my great general. Her strength is really new. Zhou Baishan's determined face was already sulky. When he saw Yunwu dodging the attack, he was immediately overjoyed. However, the fundus of those eyes was extremely deep. The Cloud family actually concealed the strength of Cloud Dance from him. But Sita Jin just looked at Yunwu with a smile, as if everything had been in his expectation. The crowd looked at the figure gradually disappearing and thought they were wrong. How could it be just a shadow? How could she escape that speed? Just when the people were stiff and surprised. Roar! Red flames suddenly burned half of the sky. A giant fire dragon circled in the air, roared. Xiao Lingrui instantly felt a strong, burning feeling behind him. He suddenly turned back, but saw a burning dragon rushing towards him. He didn't have time to think about it. Figure a sharp shake, jump in midair, quickly arouse fighting, instant water properties condensed out. A water dragon exudes a clear light. Green light quickly died in the air, to meet the fire dragon dancing in the clouds. Just for a while, the fire dragon will completely burn the water dragon. The flame in the air, the fire dragon posture arrogant. Xiao Lingrui didn't have time to be surprised. The vines around him surrounded him in an instant. Bang! Ah! With a scream, the fire dragon disappeared in the air, and the residual flame seemed to feel the burning feeling. People look at this scene, eyes suddenly stare big. Quiet still dead, quiet everyone was shocked to forget to breathe. Surprised, leaving only unacceptable. How is that possible? Xiao Lingrui covered his arm in pain, fell on the ground, and his forehead was dripping with sweat. The clothes on that arm had been burned a hole by the fire dragon, and the flesh and blood in the hole had been burnt, and the smell of burning immediately permeated the whole challenge arena. Is that the real flame? When a warrior's strength reaches a certain level, he can condense his attributes. However, it is only the result of the virtual strength. However, this girl's fire dragon is actually transformed by the real flame? How is that possible? Is all the people present were shocked again when their pupils shrank, looking at the cloud dance on the stage and the bloodthirsty radiant outlined by the corner of her mouth. She was unconsciously thrilled. The people who used to laugh at her a moment ago are naturally the most afraid now. They are afraid that the cloud ball will attack them or even kill them. This girl is so weird. Summon master. She's a summoner all of a sudden. A voice of dismal trembling and astonishment, carried out around the Nirvana cloud platform, lifted everyone's thoughts. Summoner? Did they hear right? How can that sacred profession, which no longer exists, reappear in a waste? However, all of the people present, their hearts suddenly sank. Is she really rubbish? If she's all rubbish, what are they? Waste and waste? At this moment, the black-robed Mo Yebing standing beside the lord of Longshu Kingdom. When he saw the use of fire elements in Yunwu, his eyes suddenly became gloomy and terrifying. Sure enough, it's her. She really dared to use her strength in public, which means that she is no longer hiding. Before that, he sent people to search for the whereabouts of the girl. He almost searched all over the 3 kingdoms, but failed to find her whereabouts. Later, he heard that a girl summoner appeared in Lingqing of the King of God Warrior Academy, fighting fiercely. At the same time, in Shinwan College, there was a waist-9 young lady who came to the school by the family background. But soon after, she even entered the inner college, so she sent someone to come. Her face has changed, and the person who sent her is not sure whether it is her or not. So he sent someone to follow her secretly to find a chance to catch her. But every time the people who are sent, there is no return. It turns out that they are really alone. No wonder. At the beginning, he had seen the power of the girl himself. Although he suffered from absorbing the power at the beginning, the beauty of her power was enough to arouse his greed again. Mo Yebing's eyes flashed greedy and strange, and was clearly seen by the dragon. Long Qingxia's eyes narrowed, but his mouth drew a bloodthirsty arc. Don't be greedy too early. This time, you won't let him have another chance. Wait, the good play is still to come. At this time, the whole challenge arena was in an uproar. Zhou Beishan's fierce eyes narrowed into a slit. It turned out that the national master said that there would be a summoner in Yunfu, which means the 9 young ladies. Is she the one who can bring 2 extremes to the Zhou dynasty by the difference between the enemy and the friend mentioned by the national master? Suddenly, there was a chill in Zhou Beishan's eyes, and his eyes looked at the cloud dance. Will she be an enemy or a friend? If she is an enemy, she cannot be left. Where to kill? To prevent future trouble. On the ring, Xiao Lingrui stares at Yunwu in horror. He clearly feels it. The fire just sent out by the fire dragon is a real fire, with a burning feeling that can destroy everything. After a long time, he was shocked. He looked up at the cloud dance and said, "Are you really a summoner?" The cloud dances. The eye light passes by a trace of impatience. It's this boring question again. Why did everyone see her as a summoner and ask again? Are you expecting that she will give a different answer? Cloud dance mouth corner coldly a smile. Glance at Xiao Ling Rue. A lot of people have asked this question, but in the end they all died in my hands. You also want to be one of them? In fact, it's not her mania, but her impatience. Xiao Ling Rue's face changed slightly when he heard the words. A trace of anger passed through his gentle eyes, and then he died. It's just a game, not a slaughterhouse. You don't need to bet your life on it. Xiao Ling Rue moved the corner of his mouth. It is not difficult to see that when Chun's smile is disappearing. If this young girl is really a summoner, he will never be confused to gamble with her life. Looking at Xiao Ling Rue's smile gradually faded, and his anger gradually rising from the bottom of his eyes, the cloud danced around the corner of his mouth. It's all the same. If I lose, I'll take charge of his life. After the cloud dance finished, the deep part of the eye light was stained with a bloodthirsty smile. She is walking away. Either you die or I die. No one has the ability to stop her from killing. Because if the killing stops, it means she's not far from death. What a big tone. Xiao Ling Rue snorted and sneered, and his eyes showed a trace of hostility. Suddenly, he turned his hand, and the blue fighting spirit suddenly hit the clouds. As soon as the hand of cloud dance blows, the purple fighting spirit goes away. The two collide, a strong blow, with the huge afterwave bloom, suddenly blurred vision, wind chaos. But in the purple fighting spirit of Yunwu, there is some dark atmosphere. Mo Yebing saw this, but I don't know what the darkness is. When the line of sight in front of him gradually became clear, everyone was looking at the stage in a daze and couldn't make a sound. Xiao Ling Rue's figure has disappeared in the challenge arena. What about people? Cloud dance, slightly frown, eyes swept a trace of undercurrent. The corner of the mouth sneer did not reduce. It seems that this man is still a little interesting. Long Qingxie's eyes narrowed slightly, looking at Xiao Ling Rue, who disappeared in the challenge arena. He was infected with an evil smile. Is spacebound? When he was in the Moyu Forest, Zhou Feiyu, Shangguan, and Nanganji were trapped in this kind of border. This kind of boundary is very difficult to feel the spiritual power. If you don't feel it with your heart, you won't know its specific meaning. Therefore, the best use of this kind of border is sneak attack when Zhou Feiyu, Nanganji, and Shangguan see Xiao Ling Rue's disappearing figure. Their thoughts also skip the boundary in the Moyu Forest. Clouds hanging purple pupil eyes with a cold smile, blooming in the corner of the mouth, more bloodthirsty. Suddenly, in the blink of an eye, a shadow suddenly appeared behind the clouds, like lightning, with the power of chopping all, sonorous. I saw that the long sword, whooshing, was about to pierce into Yunwu's back bang. Almost in the same second, the black flame broadsword comes from the air, and the powerful power is buzzing in my ears. A knife and a sword collide. The clear sound of vibration reverberates back and forth, and the shadowless power spins. All of a sudden, several pillars on the challenge arena were cut off silently, and finally fell down with a roar. If there was another second, Xiao Ling Rue would be sure to win, but in that second, Yunwu's sword roared and cut off his sword. The result is a sharp reversal. People exclaimed, "What the hell is going on?" Cloud dance mouth bloodthirsty smile blooming, eyes a cold, water element wrapped body. Speed swept to Xiao Ling Rue. A touch of purple and dark color appeared in his hand. With strange power, he beat Xiao Ling Rue away. The moment Xiao Ling Rue's face changes color, he suddenly forms a boundary to protect his body that flies out of balance. In a moment, the wind attacks his body and reluctantly returns to the challenge arena. Xiaoling Rui covers the power of the sharp injustice in the elixir field and coagulates the cloud dance, just as his bloodshot eyes stare at the cloud dance. Poof! A touch of blood came out the next second. The speed of the wind element, the attack of the purple bucket's air condensation, enchanting power. She has been lenient. Everyone was stunned and looked at the challenge arena. Everyone could not reflect the current situation in his mind. Isn't she about to be stabbed? Why is Xiaoling Rui injured now? The speed of Yunwu's shot was just a few seconds, and most people didn't see what was going on. Only know that she only with a few seconds turned the situation around. Who is she? How do you know where I am? Xiaoling Rui's eyes were fixed on the cloud dance, and the light of his eyes was a little surprised. Cloud dance, mouth a lie. Cold smile, pull open. You're not always in? Xiaoling Rui is stunned. Can she see him all the time? How is that possible? The boundary he used is invisible to the naked eye. However, he did not know that Cloud Dance has another special element body, which is the space element. The boundary may not be the same as the space element, but it's only a small meaning to detect his position. What's more, she's a killer. He's too young to play sneak attack with her. Suddenly, Xiaoling Rui jumped up in the air. The corner of his mouth was cold, and his gentle eyes were extremely fierce. In this case, I have to do my best. Xiaoling Rui clapped his hands together. Yunwu felt that some kind of breath in the air was running away rapidly, and all gathered to Xiaoling Rui. The cloud dances. The eye sun suddenly or am I? It's wood. He is gathering the wood property near the cloud platform. The shortcut of Lanine Cloud Platform is a dense forest, in which the wood properties are many and fine, and full of the spiritual power of wood properties. This Xiaoling Rui can control the wood property in the air. What skills is he using? However, it is at this moment. The cloud dances suddenly of feeling sky a dark, lift Mao to see. It was a huge cannibal flower. Yes, it's cannibal. However, it is different from her Hongling. This cannibal flower is wood blue, and its petals are similar to those of a trumpet flower. This cannibal flower is a combination of multiple elements, flexible and changeable. It can produce several parts between its branches. Cloud Dance slightly frown, looking at the cannibal flower, eyes a cold. I don't know why I feel sick when I see this wood cannibal at the same time, but also some dark anger. He is destroying the image of Hongling in her mind. However, when the clouds frown, that split open 5 cannibal flowers, instant Cloud Dance crazy hit. Each big mouth can swallow 5 of her. Cloud Dance palm purple fighting gas rise. Just want a hand and see cannibal flower appearance and suddenly stop. Then they volley a hide, but was another cannibal flexible catch up. Hiding and catching up with continue to hide this, that again. Finally, Yunwu couldn't bear it, and his anger suddenly burned in his eyes, kicking away a cannibal flower behind his ass. But the strength was just punishment. Soon the cannibal came back. Xiaoling Rui looks at the whole challenge arena, where Yunwu is chased by cannibal flower, and a cold smile emerges. It seems that the so-called summoner is no better than you. The dragon in the corner looks at the cloud dance, chased by the cannibal flower, with a helpless smile passing through his eyes. This little thing, and such a soft heart, and Nangong Yi's unchanging eyes, looking at the figure dodging around, are also infected with a smile at the moment. Zhou Feiyu looked at the cannibal flowers with awe-inspiring eyes. He resisted the impulse and didn't cut them down. Lu Bai, who has no sense of existence, doesn't know where he is now. The challenge arena is not far away from the most noble position. Zhou Batian looks at the cloud dance, which has always been in the upper hand, but is chased by several cannibals. His fierce eyes are full of anger, and the people under the stage were shocked and exclaimed when Xiaoling Rui made this cannibal flower. But at this time, it was also danced by the clouds, the funny appearance of running away, and began to laugh. On the ring, Hongling come out. Cloud dance calm anger, low roar a, instantly called out the Hongling in the contract space. As soon as Hongling's figure appeared, the small figure suddenly turned into a big one, and restored its huge body, master. It's disgusting to solve them all. Cloud dance, a cold drink. When Hongling saw the pirated cannibal flower, she showed her teeth and cracked them. Her tusks were grinded and cackled. It's the master. After answering the call, Hongling immediately turned her head and glared at the cannibal flowers and began to shout angrily, "I hate it, young man. People have ruined the beautiful image of Lao Tzu. You should die one by one." The big red flower, angry, almost spitting fire-like, fiercely towards the distant cloud dance near a cannibal flower bite. Pouring blood, the ferocious fangs twinkle, full of cold. Click, click. Strange biting sound. A bite of the cannibal flower, bite of the rotten. Disappeared in midair. Cloud Dance looks at the speed power of Hongling. Izami. Hongling's spiritual power has improved. It seems that with her breakthrough, Wuzuin, these little guys who have contractual relationship with her also rise. Contract beast? Is this the contract beast of the summoner contract? But it's a plant, not Warcraft. What's going on? The crowd looked at Hongling on the challenge arena and gaped in amazement. Seeing Hongling, Dragon's evil mouth raises a smile of evil spirit. This little thing is always so black-hearted. After Hongling solved the last pirated cannibal flower, cloud dancing figures swept, countless mirages appeared, palm dark purple fighting reappearance, void fierce blow. Bang! Almost at the same time, a black figure in the void flashed from the border hiding, fell rapidly, and a loud noise rang out. The crack of the challenge arena, the cry of the crowd. All of a sudden, the atmosphere of the whole stadium was strange and restless. The cloud dances down in the air, looking at Xiao Lingrui lying in the concave challenge arena. The corners of his mouth are indifferent. How do you feel? Xiao Lingrui took the pain and pulled the corners of his mouth powerlessly. After a long time, he said, "Not bad." He wiped the blood from the corners of his mouth. His face was pale and bloodless. His bones were broken. His arms were on the ground, and he stood up reluctantly. He was dancing in the clouds, and a cold smile appeared in the corner of his pale mouth. Yunwu slightly picked up the corner of his mouth, and his indifferent eyes glanced at him. "I hope I won't be disappointed." Suddenly, they whirled around to see a sharp hurricane. All of a sudden, the white clouds and blue sky seemed to change color and became dark and turbid. Although everyone in the arena is a certain distance away from the challenge arena, they can still feel the sharp edge. The ice sun of Imo night, ice cold, looks at the half sky of change color. The cold idea around the body almost condensed the air. He looks at Cloud Dance more than enough to deal with Xiao Lingrui, who is at the level of great martial arts master. His eyes are cold, and a sense of gloomy killing emerges. From the last fight, her strength has improved so much. He could hardly measure her strength. Originally, he thought that she was deliberately hiding, but now her hand, he was unable to find out. Especially the dark power in her body. This girl must not stay. On the ring, Xiao Lingrui's cold and strange smile, green, blue, red, yellow, five-color body, forming a five-color vortex. The whirlpool rips the hurricane, sharp as a blade, leaving a scratch where it passes. The gray half sky is filled with five attributes and dyed with strange light. That's he's five attributes in one. People exclaimed God, not to mention the five attributes. The two attributes of people in this mainland of China have been counted as one of the few. Is he a five-attribute man? Cloud Dance glances at Xiao Lingrui, and his mouth is sharp. Interesting. In this strange world, among the people she met, the dragon was a demon. There was no attribute distinction, and all seven attributes could be used. This is the first time that she has met a person with five attributes. At this time, Xiao Lingrui condenses the five attributes on his fist. The whole fist is shining. He can vaguely see the five attributes moving back and forth between his fingers. In a flash, the shadow of the hurricane struck with the power that people can't get close to, ferocious and amazing. Cloud dance, deep eyes, in the hurricane and strong power of chaos. A head of green silk dance like charm, purple drag moving. In the eyes of the people surprised, Xiaoling Rui's powerful fist is on Yunwu. There was only one step between them, and the hurricane whirled wildly, wrapping them inside. People outside only vaguely see two figures, as well as that in the hurricane blooming colorful light of the spirit. Suddenly, in the body of the green hurricane, the purple light suddenly appeared with a zee sound, like lightning constantly hitting. Bang! With a loud sound that goes straight to the sky, the two figures are shocked to retreat. Yunwu was just shocked to take a small step back, and then stopped steadily. But Xiaoling Rui was directly shocked away, a scream, accompanied by a dull landing sound. In this contest, they all stood up and stared at Xiaoling Rui on the stage. See, Xiaoling Rui mouth corner blood continuously overflow. The whole person's face is pale, like being put dry blood, forehead tightly wrinkly, seemed to be very painful. Poof! With a ferocious frown, a mouthful of blood came out again. The people were shocked. How much is it? Xiaoling Rui tried his best to support himself, but he still couldn't get up. It was only with the help of a student of Huangshu College who came to the stage that he stood up. Xiaoling Rui looks at the cloud dance, a pair of eyes deep shock and shock. Are you the seven systems of the same body? Xiaoling Rui's painful eyes looked at the cloud dance. There was anger and reluctance in his words, and he was more surprised. Maybe few people can see the situation clearly, but he can't see it better. When he attacked her, his 5 attributes were isolated by her space barrier. When her other 5 attributes appeared, he also used the barrier in martial arts. But did not expect, she actually also has the thunder element, the enemy of martial arts. At that moment, his border was destroyed, he was shot away, and she just stepped back. How big is the difference between the two? So you can see. Blue talent, great martial arts master level, 5 systems in 1, special martial arts. He never thought that he would lose so thoroughly and lose on the stage, however. He was secretly glad that he was shot away. Instead of being eroded by her terrible power, Xiaoling Rui can't help but shake his fist in anger. He was defeated in such a mess. Was it a fluke that he left his life? When people heard Xiaoling Rui say that the 7 systems are the same, they were shocked and looked at Yunwu. 7 systems in 1? Is she a member of the 7 systems? 7 series summoner? Isn't that the almighty summoner? How is that possible? Haven't thunder elements and space elements disappeared for a long time? How could the jaw of everyone's astonishment almost fell down? Is the rumored waste, Miss 9, really the person in front of her? In front of the cloud dance, clearly still that some sick face, but at this moment of her, but give people a kind of cool, bloodthirsty, cold, arrogant, and domineering, which is like rubbish. But when they didn't compete, they all ignored this point and thought that she was the trash only. Is it their arrogance that blinds them? In the end, did it blind them? Cloud dance eyes cold sneer, looking at the eyes of the people in consternation. Cold hum. She doesn't like to be noticed. But isn't that what she wants today? She wants to let everyone know that she is not a waste that can be handled at will. Then, Cloud Dance looks back at Xiaoling Rui, and the corners of his mouth outline a light smile, cold and bloodthirsty. Thank you for your strength. Let me achieve the purpose I want. Suddenly, Xiaoling Rui heard the voice of Cloud Dance in his mind. Mind? Xiaoling Rui suddenly raised his eyes and found that Yunwu was looking at him like a smile. She said, "Thank you for getting her there." Does his strength only serve his purpose? No threat at all? There was a flame in his eyes, a flame of anger. With a cold smile, Yunwu glanced at the crowd and said coldly, "I'm Miss 9 of Yunfu. I'm the waste in your mouth, and I'm also the fiancé of Long Shitzi. Please remember that in the future." Having said that, she did not look at the crowd anymore, and a plunder had already appeared beside Long Qingxie. The Wind 7 old looking at to leave a figure. The sharp mouth sun inside. The surprised facial expression didn't subside. This girl has 7 elements at the same time? He was surprised to stare straight at Yunwoo, and his eyes were excited and uncontrollable. Thunder elements and space elements have disappeared for many years, so no one can use them. Almost people have long forgotten their existence. Although Xiao Lingrui also uses space to form a boundary, it's just a special skill. Although he is surprised, it's definitely not as good as this girl. Old Fingxi quickly felt his heart and tried to calm the excited, abnormal heartbeat. This girl, let him be surprised, excited heart disease almost came out. Yunwoo sits next to Long Qingxi and glances at him with a smile. The whole person leans on his shoulder relaxed. Long Qingxi stroked her hair, and her eyes were full of smiles. Now I think my face is full of light, and I have found treasure. Then treasure it. Cloud Dance micro closed eyes. Lazy response. Dragon Qing Xie's mouth was full of smile, holding Cloud Dance's waist. Looking at people's eyes still staying on Cloud Dance, his eyes sank, and he said with a smile, I really don't like to let others see you like this. Cloud Dance smell speech. Slightly lift Mao on his shoulder, helplessly glance at him one eye. That how can you do? It's easy. Dragon Qing evil sword eyebrow a pick. Enchantment lifted a touch of hot. I go on stage. Let them see me. Under the black line of Cloud Dance's forehead. Wind 7 old has been excited looking at Cloud Dance. At this time just found Cloud Dance and Dragon Port evil posture is ambiguous. The corner of the mouth can't help smoking. It's a game. What are they doing? However, the Wind 7 old, also be regarded as the human spirit, quickly take back the vision, a spit not smooth, just cough for a long time. I declare that Shaoling Rui challenges Yunwoo, and Yunwoo wins. Wind 7 old micro lift chin, a face serious say. But his eyes could not help glancing at Cloud Dance and Dragon Qingxia again, thinking deeply. Since the girl and Long Shitzi fall in love so much, it is estimated that Long Shitzi must have something extraordinary. It seems that the next good play is still going on. Next, Dragon 3, King Warrior Academy. Draw lots on stage. Wind 7 old red, glanced at a Dragon Qing evil, but touched Cloud Dance cold eyes. Can't help but a creeping. How could he provoke her? How could he look at him with a murderous eye? Long Qingxia looks at Cloud Dance's icy eyes, smiles at the corners of his mouth, and bewitches him, waiting for my husband to come back. Yunwoo reluctantly moved his head on his shoulder to the back of the chair, then frowned slightly, sat up, and nodded indifferently. Long Qingxia looked at Yunwoo's uncomfortable expression without his shoulder, and his eyes couldn't help flashing a look of doting. However, under the gaze of the crowd, he took back his sight and walked on the challenge arena like a leisurely walk. There was an indescribable grace in his manner. The black dosha made him look like he was dyed with a mystery from his bones. However, Long Shitzi seems to be a well-known waste. However, just after seeing the battle of Cloud Dance wastewood against the sky, people's eyes to see dragons evil were more or less doubted. At the beginning of the irony, now there is no more. They just stare at the dragon and don't say anything, because I really don't know if there will be such a counterattack. After Long Qingxia came to the stage, he took out a note in the box and gave it to Fingxi. Dragon 3 of Xinhuang Samurai Academy against Qing Feng of Huangshu Samurai Academy. Wind 7 old sea dragon Qing evil smoke after the note. Think of Cloud Dance to Qing Feng put forward the conditions. Face a moment slightly changed. This year's competition is really a headache. Zhou Batian saw the dragon on the stage. Li Rant's eyes sank slightly. It seems that I vaguely feel that at this time, some of the breath of the Dragon 3 is different from the past, like something is hidden. Is he pretending to be a waste? And Mo ice in cold mouse sun. Also, all the time looking at Long Qing evil, seemed to have found a touch of familiar breath on him. On the ring, the two figures stand opposite each other. A smile of evil spirit under the black veil. A smile of disdain. Long Qingxia looks at Qing Feng, and his eyes pass by with a smile. Blue talent. At the beginning of Wuxing's life, He was so powerful in his 30s that he could be called a genius among the geniuses. No wonder he was so arrogant. It seems that he had some capital. However, in front of him, he is always the only one who is crazy. But it's not his turn to be arrogant. But in this moment, a touch of blue fighting spirit came in the air and waved straight at the dragon. Dragon Qing, evil figure, a shake. Easy to avoid a blow, the corner of the mouth outline smile, gradually bloodthirsty. Then, Qingfeng's figure is wiped, and a water sword is sweeping. The dragon doesn't hide this time, but reaches out a palm to meet it. Is he going to die? Just when everyone thought that Long Qingxie was looking for death, he turned his hand, and Qingfeng's water sword suddenly disappeared out of thin air. In the moment of Qingfeng's surprise, with a wave of dragon's evil purple fighting spirit, he flew out in an instant. Wind speed turbulence, a burst of rapid collision sound, and a few crisp leap into the ears of the people. He's a purple talent? Return a blow will be the strength of the early whooshing fly. What's the matter with the two rubbish in the rumor? Isn't that a great strength? Qingfeng stood up, arrogant eyes staring at the dragon evil. Killing spread. Cloud dance, corner of the mouth sneer at a glance. Qingfeng, don't seek to die, will not die. Now it seems that he is seeking to die. Zhou Batian saw the counterattack of Dragon Qingxie, and his fierce eyes were suddenly surprised. He has been hiding his strength for more than 10 years. Even he has been cheated? What the hell does he want to do? The cold light of Zhou Batian's eyes flickered darkly. It seems you have some strength, too. Qingfeng glances at Dragon Qingxie. Although he disdains, he is surprised that he has purple talent. Dragon Qing, evil smell speech. That black fight under the cape of the lip, bloodthirsty hook. Hoarse-voiced eye with a sense of arrogance. Enough to fly your strength. Enough to fly him? What an arrogant tone. Qingfeng smell speech, face instant iron green. A black sword suddenly appear. Gloomy way. Seek death. The dark black sword exudes a strange light. Even the breath on Qingfeng seems to be integrated with the black sword. Dragon Qingxie looks at the black sword, his eyes slightly narrowed. It's a black sword made of black iron. As soon as his bloodthirsty light came up, an épée appeared in his hand and collided with the black sword. Bang! There was a sonorous echo. Qingfeng's eyes flashed a little surprised, and he tried his best to hold the black sword so as not to throw it away. But soon, Qingfeng's face suddenly changed. That strike collided, and the strength of black sword actually ate him back. Qingfeng coagulates the dragon to pour evil, and the eye light flashes a color of horror. What did he do? Mo Yebing, who has been sitting, sees the épée in the hand of Long Qingxie, and the dark eyes are sweeping the strange cold light at the moment. It's him. No wonder he felt that his breath would be so familiar. It's him. What have you done? Qingfeng, burning angry eyes a cold. Black sword pointed to the dragon. Qingxie asked. Long Qingxie sneered and said, Can't you see it? The strong in the early days of whooshing. The last two words, it seems that deliberately increased a few points. Qingfeng smell speech. The anger in the eyes is more obvious. That anger seems to burn to the black sword. Suddenly the black sword also hazy pan with a touch of fireworks. In an instant, the breath around Qingfeng changed strangely. The figure trembled, and the wood property attacked instantly. As soon as the sneer of Dragon Qingxie's eyes passed by, a green light rose in his body. He was fighting with wood. Qingfeng water attribute. He also water attribute. He is a native, and so is he. It's like provocation. It's like mockery. It's like fun. And the people under the stage saw their way of fighting. They were too stunned to speak. How many attributes does he have? Isn't he rubbish? Is it hidden strength? Shouldn't it be the same as Miss Yun Jiajio just now? Is it the same with 7 attributes? God, what's the matter with these two people? Suddenly, Long Qingxie seemed to be tired of playing, and a bloody light rose from the corner of his mouth. In an instant, the 5 elements come out together, condensing all their strength on the ape, winding the purple fighting spirit and waving it in the air. Bang! With a loud noise, the whole challenge arena split into 2. Long Qingxie and Qing Feng are 1 and half. And at this time of Qing Feng, eyes in addition to surprise or horror. I saw that the black sword in his hand was divided into 2 parts by the qi of the sword. Half of the black sword was in his hand, with blood on it. It was left on his shoulder. He was cut by the blow just now. At the moment, his shoulder is open, and his white robe is stained with a large amount of blood. The blood is still flowing out. Ferocious and barefaced, Qing Feng glanced at the dragon, but his eyes were shocked and deep. The strike of Long Qingxie just now combined 5 attributes and his own fighting spirit. He thought he could take a strike, but now the result is his strength really above him? No way. He didn't believe that there was anyone in the world who had more talent than him. He is the first one to break through the martial arts age in less than 30 years. It's absolutely impossible for anyone to be more talented than him. It's absolutely impossible. Qing Feng's eyes became more fierce, and the darkness in his eyes was a little bit more. This time, I'll take your life. Do you have the ability to take it? Dragon Qing, evil mouth, bloodthirsty smile ahum. I light inside flit a touch of uninteresting. Such arrogant and conceited people waste their strength in vain. Then you can see if I have the ability. His voice just fell. Suddenly, Qing Feng's figure suddenly flickered, and in an instant, 6 illusions appeared around Long Qingxie. Phantom? The cloud dance under the stage frowned slightly, and the light of eyes flashed a little bit of surprise. These 6 illusions have the same breadth and strength as the Numenon, and they can't tell which is the real Numenon. But the strength is equal to that of 6 people. She had never seen such a mirage. The strength of the 6 martial saints in the early stage was 6-1. Cloud Dance looks at the dragon to pour evil. The Mao light passes a touch of worry. I don't know if this man can handle it. Long Qingxie's eyes dropped, and his smile swept the 6 figures in front of his eyes. The bloodthirsty smile at the corner of his mouth seemed to be gradually deepened and added a lot. Suddenly a shadow came. Just at the moment of Dragon's evil hand, another figure came at a gallop. Want to give him a double click? As soon as the dragon's evil eyes narrowed, his purple fighting spirit condensed, and his feet moved, he took a quick hand to solve one problem in an instant. However, it was at the same moment. Brush! He suddenly felt the wind whistling in his ears, and his figure leaped in the air in an instant. It was still a step late. The black dosha on his head floats in the wind, showing off a perfect radiant and a sound of cool air under the stage. The burned face, pockmarked and uncovered, showed itself in front of everyone. How ugly is this, the true face of Long Qingxie? No wonder they wear black gauze all day long. It's really ugly. People like this don't find a way to get in. At the beginning, he was still shocked by the strength of the dragon, but at this time he was completely frightened by the appearance of his black dosha. One after another, the sound of disgust spread all of a sudden. Cloud Dance listened to the public's discussion. Lazy eyes swept a frost. The sharp smile of the corner of the mouth also hook up. Not only did people talk in whispers, but Zhou Feiyu and Shangwan were stunned for a long time when they saw his face. Although we all know that he was disfigured, we didn't think it would be so serious. A face with edges and corners is beyond recognition now. Even the lips are half burned. Isn't he the evil man? How can such a face be under the black dosha? Is this his face changing? Or is that what he is? Otherwise, why do you dare not show your true face all the time? Zhou Feiyu looks at the dragon and looks back at the Cloud Dance. Although he can't express any opinions to him around her, it doesn't mean he won't think. If the true face of the Dragon 3 is really this face, he will feel some terrible and ferocious after seeing it. Does she really have no feeling at all? Think of her slouching on his shoulder. Think of her kissing him. Somewhere in Zhou Feiyu's heart, there was some nameless anger. However, there was a ripple in Shangwan's lazy eyes. However, when he saw Yunwu's sneer, he soon retired. The person she chooses, he seems not qualified to say anything. What's more, he always felt that the Dragon 3 was not simple. Perhaps his face in front of him was just a mask. Because the evil man who followed her in the forest before, if it was not the Dragon 3, would the evil man give her to other men? Think about it, the Shangwan heart seems to have some mirror up. In addition to the cloud dance, there seems to be another one that is the quietest with no change in the look. That's Nanganji. In his eyes, it seems that all the camouflage does not exist. Just like the original cloud dance, no matter how easy she is, it seems that she can't escape his eyes. Long Qingxie, Long San, and even that little dragon, in his eyes he always saw a person. Now, how could he be surprised? On the ring, Qing Feng, who lives in the mirage, sees the face of Dragon 3. His eyes suddenly stagnate. It seems that he can't believe it. His body suddenly freezes, and it's this stiffness that gives Dragon Qingxie a goal. Dragon Qingxie's bloodthirsty smile suddenly deepened. The ape roared through the sky and circled. The fierce sword chi rubbed against Qing Feng. Qing Feng just glanced at the ape, but he was not in a hurry. His body was like being hit by a huge stone, and he had no resistance to let the sword chi lead him to roll. Colliding with pillars, splints, stones, intense, unbearable pain. Let that Qing Feng pain hum a voice. Poof! But a mouthful of blood is sprayed out. Dragon Qing, evil bloodthirsty eyes, looking at the distant figure on the ground. The radiant of the mouth continues to expand. In the second game, he won. Everyone looked at the Qing Feng, who was hit by a blow and couldn't get up anymore. The light in his eyes changed slightly, and the surprised eyes coagulated that ferocious face. With one move, Qing Feng was hit dozens of meters away. How powerful was his blow? How strong is this man? Is he allowed to play with Wu Sheng? However, no one knows. Just that blow, for a man, it really didn't even work. Long Qingxie takes back his eyes, takes the ape back to the space, and the deep eyes ponder for a moment. He raises his eyes and puts his eyes on Mo Yebing. After that, Long Qingxie jumped down from the challenge arena in full view of the public and walked towards the position of the leader of Longshu Kingdom. There is no one to stop. Because, as everyone knows, Long Shizi, although he is now the exchanged son of the Zhou dynasty, is also the third prince of the state of Longsu. As for the status, that is the second. Long Qingxie went to the position in front of the seat and took a look at the Lord of Longshu, his so-called father emperor. Master, how do you think the spirit of the Lord is not good and his face is not good? Dragon Qing, evil eyes light dim, sword eyebrow a pick, asked. Mo Ye's icy eyes look directly at Long Qingxie. He exposes his strength in public and makes him discover his identity. Now he comes up to ask in public. I really don't know what medicine he bought in the gourd. The old disease of the Lord recurred, and he was in a bad state. I'm worried about Long Shizi. It seems that the warmth of the whole Nirvana Cloud platform has dropped a few points. Long Shizi? The National Master deliberately called out the title, as if to remind Long Qingxie that it was the exchanged son of the Zhou dynasty. However, Long Qingxie's mouth was raised, and the book's ferocious face was even more ferocious. If so, I know a little bit about medicine. Why don't you let me treat the old diseases of the Lord? With that, Long Qingxie wanted to explore his hand. Ignite eyes, but hand a stretch. Stop the hand that Dragon Qing evil wants to probe to come over. Don't bother Long Shizi. I've already looked for the Imperial Doctor. Ignite Ice has been calm eyes, cold as prison breath coagulation. Speculate on the purpose of Dragon Evil. Yes? Seeing that the Lord is still in such a state, it can only be said that the Imperial Doctor of Long Shua only eats dry food. Long Qingxia half squints his eyes, slightly raises the corners of his mouth, and his eyes are smiling with ink ice. Ink night, I smell speech, facial expression tiny change. The third son of the dragon has been showing up as a waste material, saying that the imperial doctor is a quack. What's your trick? The MO Knight, ice-cold Mao Sun, doesn't have a silk other facial expression. Direct vision dragon Qing evil seem to want to shoot him to where. Everyone knows that Long San is the son of Long Yaozi and the third prince of Long Shugua. This MO Yi Bing sees Long Qingxia as a completely irrelevant outsider in front of the public, and his tone is so disrespectful that people present can't help but wonder. This national teacher's face is too big. Even if the emperor's old illness relapses, it seems that it's not his turn to speak, right? However, the reputation of the national teacher in Longshu State did spread to other two countries. At the beginning, it seemed that it was the master of the state of Longshu who calculated that the third prince of the dragon was the disaster star of the state of Longshu. So he sent the third prince of the dragon to the Zhou dynasty and became the son of the dragon. I saw that Long Qingxia dropped his eyes with a smile, and the corner of his mouth was cold. Then he raised his eyes and said, "It seems that I, the third prince of Longshu Kingdom, don't believe you, the national teacher of Longshu Kingdom. In this case, I don't know. As Long Shao, the leader of the Dragon Pavilion, is the weight enough?" What? Long Shao? I saw that the words of Long Qingxia fell. Not only the Ink Knight Ice was stunned, but also the people present were stunned. Long Shao, the leader of Longa Pavilion, is famous throughout the Three Kingdoms. That's Long Shao, who monopolized the business of the Three Kingdoms. The lords of the Three Kingdoms, as well as the emperors and nobles, have always wanted to attract people. Just when everyone was in a daze, Dragon Qing evil ferocious face outlines a radiant, staring at the Ink Knight Ice eyes. There is a bloodthirsty meaning. Everything will start here. Suddenly, Long Qingxia put a hand on his face and pulled it fiercely. A human skin mask was pulled off. Under the mask of the ferocious burned human skin, it's a face of evil spirit, indifference, and evil. It's just like a carved face. It's not perfect to have more or less, especially with that pair of unique golden eyes and a head of elegant silver hair, dyed the evil color of evil. The whole person is totally different from the Dragon 3 just now. Mo Knight, ice-cold Mao am I, as expected as he. However, what surprised him was that he was still the Dragon Shao in the Dragon Pavilion, who had been so mysterious that even he could not investigate. The crowd looked at Long Qingxia's move and was stunned for a moment. Then, the sound of pouring cheese spread secretly, with big eyes and unbelievable eyes, the dragon's evil face. One by one, the breath stopped. Now, who is this face that is perfect and evil? Is this Long Shitzi? How could that be? Long Shitzi, who is regarded as a waste in the world, is the Dragon Shao who has a good reputation in the Three Kingdoms. For a moment, it made people feel that they could not digest this information. The Ink Knight Ice Sun coagulates the dragon to pour evil. The abnormal facial expression has already restored to the color, but the Ice Sun of Ice Cave General is colder a few minutes. Dragon 3 is Dragon Lil. In fact, they all take Dragon as their surname, which he should have guessed for a long time. However, he was too confident in his calculations. And now, when Zhou Batian and Zhou Feiyu saw the dragon's evil spirit and peeled off the ferocious human skin, revealing the original evil appearance, their faces looked like eggplant beaten by frost. Blue and purple, with deep disbelief in the pupil. However, like more than shocked, Zhou Feiyu's eyes are full of anger. It's him. It's the same person. When he said that the least price to pay was opportunity that day, he doubted it, but he didn't study it carefully. Now it seems that his guess is true. The clenched fists, Cloud dance swept everybody one eye. The corner of the mouth is raising sneer. The eye depth is actually slightly chilly. Looking at the expressions of those who once slandered him, looked down upon him, satirized him, and laughed at him. The coldness around her sank a little. Enjoy the shock. Master, I don't know if Long Xiao has that thin face that can govern the country. Dragon Qing, evil pick eyebrow looking at Mo Yi Bing. The corner of the mouth is still hanging that white bloodthirsty sense. With the cold light from the bottom of Ice's eyes, the darkness seemed to be thinking about something. He said hoarsely, since the dragon has little heart, it's troublesome for the dragon. As soon as the words came out, there was another hiss. Is he really Long Xiao? Originally, there were many people who remained skeptical, but even the national master of Long Shihua has confirmed it. Who else dares to doubt it? Long Xiao is actually Long San? Oh my god. Not only is it not a waste, but also has such amazing martial arts skills and talent, and such a mysterious identity of Nyocha. What's the secret behind this man? When Long Qingxie heard Mo Yebing's reply, the meaning of his mouth was more obvious. What's the trouble? I'm the third prince of Longshu Kingdom. For my father's sake, it's right. Don't you think so, Mr. Guosher? In a word, let Mo Yebing's face look very ugly. At this time, the Ink Knight Ice seems to finally understand the dragon's evil eyes. He wanted to restore the status of the three princes of Long Ziguo in public and return to Long Ziguo above board. No wonder he will choose to show his strength in the Three Kingdoms competition and dare to restore his identity in front of him. For Mo Yebing's face, Long Qingxie sneers and glances coldly, then takes back his sight. Then, looking at the crowd, the evil and enchanting light in their behavior completely revealed their unintentionalness. The female students in the challenge arena, looking at the evil face of Long Qingxie, immediately held their breath. Staring at Long Qingxie, a girl's heart overflowed. Since ancient times, beauty is still very important. Cloud dance micro frown corner of the mouth sneer. Eyes light chill appear. Beauty disaster. Long Qingxie stepped down and danced with clouds all the way. Without the cover of the black veil, the light of his whole body made the cloud dance feel a little flashy. This man still wearing that veil makes people feel more comfortable. They all took a cool breath when they looked at each other as if they were looking at each other. Originally, people thought that the two wastes were so rebellious. Are they blind? Or are they good at hiding? I'm afraid they were shocked more than they have ever been in their lives. If they had not been young, they would have been shocked to death. The most miserable one is Fingillo after learning the mysterious identity of Dragon 3. He covers his heart and staggers in surprise. Long Xiao is a mysterious business tycoon in everyone's eyes. He is almost a rich man in charge of the wealth of the Three Kingdoms. It is said that his wealth has the power to shake the whole mainland of China with a single finger. Some of the funds of his Nirvana Cloud Terrace were donated by the shops of Longa. Now Long Xiao is the news of Long San. He must digest it for a while. However, at this time, or hastily announce the results first. I declare that the Dragon 3 of Shenwang Samurai Academy is against the Dragon 3 of Huangshu Samurai Academy, and the Dragon 3 wins. The result is bound. Qing Feng, who was helped up, looked at the two people in the distance. Next, Qi Daoyuan of Huangshu Samurai Academy will draw lots on the stage. What Qi Daoyuan draws is Nanganji. Although Nanganji looks as if he is a fairy, he doesn't seem to be stained with any dust. However, his hand is not as gentle as his image. If you don't make a move, you will not leave your opponent the habit of resisting. Although this is a competition, can't hurt life, but a shot will also Qi Daoyuan fly. Qi Daoyuan can stand in the challenge arena, but it also shows that his strength is good. The reaction is rapid, and the phantom gallops back. The fierce breath on his body is aggressive, just like a dragon. It seems that as long as he passes by, he will be hurt by the sharp airflow. When his figure attacked Nangonji again, a strange scene happened. Nangong, he stops his shoulder with his bare hands and suddenly stops the blurring in front of him. The eyes under the white gauze are still calm. Suddenly, there was a soft power in that palm, which was extremely calm and gentle, without any intention of killing. At that moment, Chi Duan's figure was like an arrow off the bow, flying out in an instant. People are surprised to see Chi Daoyuan flying out of the figure again, and then look at the challenge arena of Nangong. He's surprised again. What did he do? All they saw was his hand on his shoulder, but it bounced off the next second. The other side is the strength of a great martial arts master in the early days. People exclaimed, "What's the matter with all the students of Xinhuang Samurai Academy?" If you don't do it, it's the quickest way to solve it. It's quite like Nangong Yi's style. Yunwu looks at Nangong Yi under the white gauze, with a faint smile on his lips. King of God's Samurai Academy, Nangong Yixing. 7 Old Wind announced the results, stiff corners of the mouth, but cannot help twitching up. Where on earth did the 5 old men pick out these people? One is more mysterious than the other. It is estimated that the 3 of them can't turn out a few of their powerful martial arts skills in the whole mainland of China. Now they're all in one college? It's kind of weird. Next, Zhou Feiyu of Xinhuang Samurai Academy will draw lots on the stage. When the name of Zhou Feiyu falls, the most expected is the people of the Zhou dynasty. Everyone knew that Zhou Feiyu, a young general, was handsome, straight, and mighty. He was almost a god of the Zhou dynasty. However, as soon as Zhou Feiyu came to power, he seemed to show some anger. Every shot is sharp and extremely fast, and the sharp fundus hides a frost like flame, full of cold. Cloud Dance swept the anger in his eyes from a distance. He glanced back at Zhou Batian. The corner of his mouth made a mockery, and then he took back his eyes. A few minutes later, Zhou Feiyu won the game with full offensive speed and won. Then there is Shangguan. Shangguan was lazy. He didn't show much passion in the whole challenge arena. He was just like a fool. However, it is still unexpected won the victory. However, there have been the first 2 most exciting games. Behind this, it seems that there is always a lack of some shock. However, it is also in the voice of surprise won the 5th game. Until the last game, Cloud Dance looked back and glanced at Liu Bai's position, only to find that Liu Bai's position was empty and he didn't know where to go. Her eyes narrowed slightly, and a touch of meditation passed through her eyes. It seemed that he had been away for a long time. Cloud Dance micro-frown, unconsciously glanced at the dark night ice, slightly drooping eyes. Next, Liu Bai will draw lots on the stage. Just after Feng Qi called out Liu Bai's name, everyone looked at Yunwu, but Liu Bai's figure was not seen. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a silk chili. Lift Mao Wei. Liu Bai can't participate in the competition. Feng Qilao was stunned, and then said, the non-contestant will abstain and the opponent will win. How does that affect the overall results? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrows. She only after the final result as they won. It's just a losing game. 5-1. Xinhuang Samurai Academy wins. However, if the Academy abstains, it's not very good for the reputation of the Academy. It's better to change someone. We abstained in this game. Without waiting for Feng Qi to finish, Yunwu interrupts him, which makes Feng Qi's eyes surprised. Cloud Dance just slightly raised the corner of the mouth, died with a lazy smile. As long as the result is what she wants, as for the reputation of the college, what does it matter to her? She has a bad reputation of her own. The Wind 7 Old pulled to pull the corner of the mouth. A twitch can helplessly shake head. The 3 Kingdoms competition. The final winner is the King of the Gods Samurai Academy. All of them look at Yunwu. The Xinhuang Samurai Academy, which has been at the bottom of the table for 3 years in a row, actually won the counterattack with such an attitude. Although it gave up in the last game, it was a bit unsatisfactory, but in the previous few games, it really blinded everyone. It's a wonderful game. Ha ha ha. Joba Tian Hao put a smile, covered into the deep sharp eyes. Situjin also nodded, a pair of brilliant eyes full of smile. Really wonderful. Then I'll announce that the game is over. Wait! When Zhou Batian was about to announce the end of the game, a cold voice interrupted him. In the corner not far away, a purple figure came slowly, with a bloodthirsty and indifferent smile on the corner of his mouth. His manner was indescribable and elegant. Cloud Dance walked to Qing Feng's side. Eyes light tiny am I, through a touch of cold. My condition should fulfill it. Qing Feng was stunned for a moment. Conditions? Then, it seemed that he remembered something, and a little undercurrent flashed by his eyes. It seemed that now he knew what a ridiculous condition he had promised. Only the elders can decide the dissolution of the college, and I, as a student, can make a decision. Qing Feng, hidden eyes in the dark, coagulation Cloud Dance. Mouth pulled out a smile disdain to ridicule. People smell speech, all slightly alung, didn't expect a Qing Feng when actually don't admit. But what he said is that it is not up to him to decide whether the college will be dissolved, but through the unanimous vote of the elders in the college. But Huangshu Samurai Academy has existed since it became the Kingdom of Lian. How can it be said to be dissolved when it is dissolved? Cloud Dance tiny, a low mouth nods, a put-on bloodthirsty chilly smile to emerge. So say, you're playing me? Qing Feng touched her eyes, spine fierce a cool. Eyes Zheng ran a moment. At the bottom of my heart, some inexplicable fear rises. However, the size of this matter, he is also very clear in his mind. It is impossible to let the college disband. He played tricks on her, and he didn't believe it. In front of the public and the Lord of Qing'an. What can she do with him? When Qing Feng thought about it, his confidence rose. With a cold hum, he continued to sneer, "It's you who take it seriously." I just Suddenly, a tearing scream filled the whole stadium. The strange atmosphere that makes people feel numb spreads a bloody smell of tearing. The crowd looked at the Cloud Dance, and their faces were horrified. I saw her eyes with a layer of frost. At the moment, there was a touch of bloodthirsty scarlet. In her hand, she was holding a big black flame knife, sharp and sharp. On the broadsword, the bright red blood is flowing. Along the edge of the broadsword, drop by drop on the ground at her feet, is pale, twitching Qing Feng and an arm. Long Qingxi in the distance looked at the arm and said with a smile, "This little thing, he only cut off his arm." Cloud Dance put away the sword. Look back at the wind 7 old. Eyes lights and cold. I do this against the rules of the game. Wind 7 old face suave change. He lived for decades. The first time was a girl shocked, can't react. An arm. Say chop. Chop? It's only a moment to stop. There's no hesitation. Is this little girl really so determined? How can we say that he is also one of the contestants of Huangshu Samurai Academy? The challenge between the two academies is such a naked provocation. Is it really good? The rules are not clear, but... Oh, that's no foul. Cloud Dance clear nod. Take back the vision. Turn to the dragon to pour evil. Fengqi, with his mouth open, was stunned again. What he wants to say is that now the game is over. It's making trouble after the game, but after touching Cloud Dance's cold and resolute figure and Sidolan's eyes, he sighed helplessly. He has also become a person of favoritism. Yunwu returned to his seat and glanced at the dragon's evil spirit. His eyes were bright and quiet. It's time to train the people of Huangshu Samurai Academy. The meaning of this is very clear. With a deep smile, Long Qingxia put his arms around her waist. I can't hide anything from this little thing. He raised Mao to hope 1. I see Tu Lan, Mao Guang's surface one silk warning. Huangshu Warrior Academy is his influence. If Yunwu hadn't guessed this, I'm afraid she wouldn't have let Qing Feng and Huangshu Academy go. Situ Lan touched his eyes, shrugged, and seemed helpless. But deep in that pair of wise eyes, there was an imperceptible cold, looking straight at Qing Feng still lying on the ground. Even if Cloud Dance let him go, Situ Lan will not let him go. Is this the talent cultivated in the college? What a fool! In the quiet forest of Nyantai, it is quiet and comfortable. Are you going to go back today? Cloud Dance raises Mao to look at Dragon, to pour evil, Mao light-heavy inquiry. Dragon Qing evil micro a jaw head, yang that wipe unique smile. If reluctant for husband, go back with husband. The Cloud Dance slightly droops the eye light passes over a silk-heavy idea. Go to nature is to go. But before going, she needs to go back to inner college to get the map. I'm afraid she can't go back with him for the time being. Be careful on your own. Now that you have exposed your identity, I think there will be a lot of trouble on the way. Dragon Qing, evil mouth, radiant a yang. Embrace her in the bosom. Yunwu nodded in his arms. The man always seemed to know what she was thinking. To be honest, it feels good to be careful and wait for me. In the end, Yunwu didn't say much. Because of a lot of things, they seemed to have a tacit understanding not to say too much. After the Three Kingdoms competition, Yunwu and Long Qingxi broke up. Long Qingxia followed Long Shua's troops back to Long Shua, while Zhou Feiyu and Zhou Batian went back to Zhou Dynasty. And on the second day after the Three Kingdoms competition, just one night, the Cloud family that waste 9 miss. Unexpectedly is many department summoners news. With that waste Dragon World Sun Dragon 3, unexpectedly is that famous, the most mysterious dragon little news. It almost spread all over the world and immediately caused a sensation in the whole mainland of China. Wasted genius? It is estimated that everyone has broken their glasses. In particular, even if it is a genius, but this one has become the legendary summoner, and the other one has become the most powerful dragon Shao in the Three Kingdoms. It's shocking. For a while. There are more and more rumors about them. Almost everything about Miss Nine and Long Shao has been turned out. Even gradually, news spread. It is said that the Zedong girl who made trouble in Murong Mansion in Los Angeles is Miss Yun Jiajio. People in Los Angeles are very popular. The Murong family, including the old Murong people, were all dumbfounded. At that time, the girl of that boy was Miss Yun Jiajio and the summoner? But when the silly eyes shocked in the past, it was followed by a very happy heart. Because the Murong family leader recognized Yunwu as their daughter. Doesn't that mean that they have a big relationship with the Ninth Lady? Think about it. That Murong old man excited one by one. Go straight to the Murong's house. Want to discuss with the Murong's master whether to go to the Cloud's house in the Imperial City to contact the Murong's dry daughter. However, the mother-in-law and the Murong family leader seemed to behave normally, as if they already knew the identity of Yunwu. Of course, apart from the other side of Los Angeles, this end of the Imperial City is also volatile. Miss Nine of the Cloud family is a waste. It's estimated that no one in the whole Imperial City knows about it. But it suddenly came out that Miss Nine turned into a talent and became a summoner. She also took part in the Three Kingdoms competition on behalf of Xinhuang Samurai Academy and won a great victory. She was really surprised that many people lost their chin. However, as soon as the news came out, the woman was the first to know. The main hall of the back palace of the Zhou dynasty. A woman in a golden dress was sitting on the lady's chair, with a trace of gloom floating in her beautiful eyes. The golden and resplendent main hall is now covered with a layer of gray, and the breath is strange and quiet. You say that Miss Yunfu Nine is the purple pupil girl? A voice with gloomy anger broke the silence in the main hall. Standing not far away from her, the man in black lowered his head and said, "Yes." Pop, the crisp sound of breaking came out. The snow willow, who tasted tea gracefully, flashed a trace of coldness in her beautiful eyes. "Bring her back to me." At all costs. If she doesn't come back, you don't have to come back. The main hall was filled with a trace of gloomy atmosphere, and the elegant and calm face was a bit ferocious at the moment. Yes, the man in black suddenly nodded and retreated respectfully. No wonder since last time, she has never heard from her again. It turns out that she has been hiding her identity as Miss Nine. However, what makes Shuelyo very angry is that she didn't take her life after she had been fed with poison for more than 10 years. Why on earth? Is it because she is the inheritor of the bright blood of the witch clan? Damn it. At the beginning, if it was not for the fate of the witch people, she could not be killed by others when she was under 15. Why did she keep her for more than 10 years? But now that she was 15, she found that everything was out of her control. Snow Willow put down the teacup in her hand, and her beautiful eyes swept a trace of anger. She must not stay. Soon, the anger in her beautiful eyes was gone, and Shuelyo got up and left. However, just after she left, the teacup on the table turned into a pool of foam in an instant. Internal College. The knight is winding around on the silent square. A little figure disappeared. When it reappeared, it was in front of the old tower. Elder, the game is won. According to the agreement, can I have the map? Cloud Dance raises Mao to look at Big Elder. Star bright Mao Sun inside. Hardcover is silk of excitement, but performance more is indifferent. If you open your mouth, you will show your intention directly. She also needs to rush to Longzuguo to see if she can catch up with him. In fact, the Three Kingdoms competition is set up in the middle of the Three Kingdoms. The distance is not too far. One night's rapid flight will take you to the position of Shinwang Samurai Academy in competition in a few hours. If she gets the map, she will catch up with it immediately. It is estimated that she will be able to catch up tomorrow afternoon. See Cloud Dance that directly to the point, tower old that calm face, slightly raised a smile. Take it. As soon as his hoarse voice fell, a map fell in the air. Cloud Dance took the map and glanced at it. There was a trace of fine on in her eyes, and the corner of her mouth could not help raising it. It's true. She has another map, and now she has 6. With the map in hand, Cloud Dance naturally doesn't need to waste time in the college. Thank you, Elder. I have something urgent, so I'll go first. Language falls under. Also, don't wait for Big Elder to say what. Cloud Dance figure a sweep, already disappeared on the square. This girl, I want you to chat with me, the old man, so fast. Elder looking at the empty square. Calm face rarely flashed a helpless, complaining low Nan. Cloud Dance looked at the map in the hand, took a deep breath. The purple pupil, Mao can't hide the joy. But in a second hand, it was quickly put into space. She lifted her eyes to see a clear moon hanging in the sky. Her eyes twinkled. Now that the map of the college has been solved, she can temporarily put down what she is doing and help him wholeheartedly. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth of Yang, soars in the air, and rushes toward the Cloud family army. Since we want to seize power, how can we lose strength? Of course, with her elite troops and killer corps. I just don't know how they've been training these days. I don't know if they can prevent her Yunwu's eyes narrowed, and the corners of his mouth outlined a strange smile. Over the camp, a shadow of the Yunjiajin came in the air. Cloud Dance, wearing black gauze, is hiding in the barracks square, observing the movement around, but it is strange to find that there is no one around the barracks. Is there no one on patrol? Suddenly, Yunwu felt as if her body was controlled by something and could not move at all. It's Lingli Array, the nihilistic power array formed by gathering all kinds of power. At that moment, more than a dozen shadows came towards her with a sharp speed and a strong power. Yunwu frowned slightly. After seeing the shadow clearly, the corner of his mouth raised, and a touch of interesting taste passed by his eyes. Actually found her hiding in, then have a good time with you. Suddenly, A touch of dark purple power gushed out, and the spirit power array was broken. More than a dozen figures came quickly. They were beaten back by the broken spirit power of the spirit power array and were stunned on the ground. Who dares to break into the army of the Cloud family at night? When Gao Yu heard something unusual, he came out of the tent and pointed a long sword at Yunwu. Cloud dance slightly low Mao. The corner of the mouth raises, the so-called Cloud family army. So point ability? Hearing this, Gao Yu looked at Yunwu with a sneer. Who are you? If it's a mistake, I advise you to leave quickly. By mistake? Haha, you're wrong. I'm to provoke. The cloud dances. The eye light is shining. The lip corner under the black veil is sketching a light smile. Just as her voice fell, the dozen soldiers who had just attacked her immediately surrounded her. That posture is like an array. Suddenly, Yunwu felt a vague sense of oppression. A dozen soldiers pointed at her with long swords in their hands. Each sword was engraved with a moon mark, which was full of strange brilliance in the moonlight. Cloud Dance looks at long sword, eyes suddenly surprised. Those swords are absorbing the essence of the moon? This is the first time she has seen that there is still a way to absorb the essence of sun and moon. The sword is shining like the moon. Yunwu smiles and looks forward to the next picture. Take it. With a command, more than a dozen long swords came in the air, and with cool power, they went straight to the clouds. Oh, a brush! There was a roar overhead. Yunwu raised her eyes slightly and looked up at the sky. With an awe-inspiring smile at the corner of her mouth, she was full of dark, purple fighting spirit. She broke through the spirit power in an instant and went into the air more and more. Air! The broken spirit force backfired, and more than a dozen soldiers fell to the ground in an instant. And Cloud Dance looks at the skirt that is scratched rotten by the edge of spirit power. A trace of satisfaction looks in the eye light. Don't fight. You're not her match. Just as a dozen soldiers were ready to rise to fight back, a calm voice, like water, suddenly came out through the cold night. All people hear the words that make Xiande say, all is tiny a lung, immediately take a trace of doubt to look back. Not her rival? This array is taught by Ling Xintian himself. It has the power of array. They have learned it by themselves. Make Xiande from camp came out, the corners of the mouth hang smile. All the way to Cloud Dance walked in the past. So did not come back. A return under such a heavy hand. You do not care? Cloud Dance tiny a pick eyebrow. Understand this makes Xiande already know is she. So, she directly reached out to take off the hood and glanced at Ling Xiantian. Her eyes were a little dull. She was going to play with them for a while. People's faces changed when they saw Yunwu's beautiful face. This engraved into their mind beautiful girl. In addition to the 9 miss, who else? The next second, I saw all the soldiers on the scene. All bowed their heads respectfully and called, Miss 9. Cloud Dance, slightly jaw-head, glanced at them, looking back at Gao Yu, cold way. Gather 100 elite, tomorrow morning with me to leave. Yes, Miss 9. Gao Yu nodded respectfully, but he was more or less puzzled. Could it be that something big was going to happen? Miss 9, are they up to your standard? Gao Yu glanced at the ragged skirt and asked a little embarrassed Cloud Dance. Yunwu just gave a cold smile. Do you think they would be alive if she didn't show mercy? Ling Xintian looks at Gao Yu and shakes his head helplessly. Just now, Cloud Dance only uses 4 points of strength. On the one hand, it can break the battle. On the other hand, it won't hurt them, but it can't resist. It can be said that the scale is very good. How can ordinary people do this? Gao Yu was stunned, then lowered his head and left. Cloud Dance looks at the figure that he leaves, shallow smile. Shall we begin? Ling Xuanchen looks at Yunwu and can guess what she wants to do. Cloud Dance, slightly jaw-head, eyes light in the clear sweep. Shall I come with you? Make Xiande know what she wants to do must indirectly related to his grandfather. So the heart is looking forward to Cloud Dance, can let him go with. Cloud Dance coagulates his one eye. The Mao light contemplates a flash to die. I don't know what he means. It's just that it's not the right time for her to reveal her identity. She's just beginning to face up to tens of thousands of beasts. I don't know what will happen, and the time is not ripe. Wait soon. Make Xiande Mao light a dark, but soon then nod. He knew that she must have a reason not to let him go, and he believed her words. Don't worry about it. I will not let you down if I leave the rest of the soldiers. Cloud Dance light smile raised, looking at Make Xiande. Have you in? I am very at ease. Gao Yu soon gathered the elite troops together. Yunwu told Xintian to train other soldiers in any special way and left with the elite soldiers. Dress up and wait for me at the junction with Long Shugua. When Yunwu looked at the soldiers' battle clothes, he always felt that some of them were too eye-catching. Yes, 100 soldiers nodded respectfully. Yunwu nodded slightly, just about to leave, as if he thought of something, looking back and said, You can't do it if you don't have to. Do you understand? Yes. They all spoke in unison. Cloud Dance a tiny pick eyebrow. The corner of the mouth raised a smile, as if very satisfied with their present state. But 3 seconds later, her face suddenly sank down. Don't be so stiff. After leaving the younger sister's younger sister, drinking, eating meat, what to do? People wonder, what is a girl? However, I understood the general meaning and said, I know, Miss Nine. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a silk to approve. The child can teach also. Finally, after telling Gao Yu, Yunwu left in the air. People looked at the cloud dancing figure, slightly stunned. This speed can be listed as immortal, right? After Yunwu left, he came to the eastern suburb woods. She explores the location of the killer core and finds their figures in a secret remnant. At this time, Bai Qingshui and others have rested. She deliberately pressed the breath to the lowest level. A phantom came to them, and the fast shadow could not be captured. But brush! Cold light flashed by. The sword in Bai Qingshui's hand has been pulled out, and it is still 1 meter away from Yunwu's chest. Yunwu looks at the swords around him, and the corners of his mouth outline slightly. It seems that their strength has been greatly promoted, much faster than she imagined. Bai Qingshui looks at the cloud dance, and the surprise looms in his cold eyes. Her strength has improved again, although they are resting. Their vigilance is not relaxed all the time. When they feel the abnormal breath, they have already shot with the fastest speed. But in front of her, it's still slow. Their current strength and speed, among the assassins, should belong to the top. But compared with her, they are still far behind. Yes, I'm satisfied. The cloud dances and raises the corner of the mouth. The eye light dawns, a touch of praise. They took back their swords and looked at each other. In addition to being stunned, they were surprised. Sha Qi stood up, bowed his head respectfully and asked, Master, have you improved your strength again? Cloud Dance droops Mao a smile, did not answer his question. He glanced at the crowd and said, After training for so long, it's time to go and practice. Wait for me at the junction of Longshu Kingdom. Yes, everyone immediately nodded respectfully, and there was a ray of light in their eyes. After training for so long, they are waiting for this moment to try their strength. Cloud Dance, slightly jaw-head, brush sleeve left the woods. The night was dim, and half of the sky was pale. The cloud dances in the air and gallops. He lifts his eyes and condenses the dense air. He is slightly relieved. He has done all that he should do. Now the most important thing is to go to Longzuguo. With 100 soldiers, the target is too big, and her identity is completely exposed. Those who want her life are everywhere. It's better to separate them just in case. What's more, she is not ready to let anyone know the existence of her forces. After daybreak, Yunwu finally rushed back to the inn to meet Nanganji, who had been discussed before. In fact, let Nanganji follow her back to the college is the meaning of the man Long Qingxie. It's rare for a man so jealous to suggest that other men follow her. However, Yunwu knows very well. The man was worried about her safety. In the competition, after her identity was exposed, she was faced with more than just a few minor characters. But Mo Yebing, even the cruel role of the Queen Xuelio. One more Nanganji can ensure her safety. His idea, cloud dance, how can not understand it, so she did not refuse as long as he can rest assured. Here, as soon as Yunwu stepped into the inn, he heard a warm and cool voice. Looking back, Nangong is tasting tea there. With a slight hook on the corner of his mouth, he walks towards him. Is everything done? Cloud danced slightly jaw-head, picked up the teacup on the table, a sip. Done? What time to start? Nangong, he turns the teacup in his hand, thinking deeply. Cloud Dance looked at his thoughtful expression, slightly pulled the corner of his mouth, took back his eyes, pretended not to see, and calmly said, I'll leave soon. Nangongi nodded slightly, and the fingers on the back of tea turned white. In the twinkling of an eye, he put down the teacup, sighed imperceptibly, raised his eyes and looked at Yunwu. Let's go. Hey, did you hear that something happened to Yunfu in the Imperial City? Just as Yunwu nodded, a simple and fierce voice suddenly came to stop Yunwu's action. What happened? What's the matter? Why don't I know? I heard that an assassin sneaked into Yunfu last night and killed several people. Even Master Yun was injured. How can it be? It's the general's residence. Who dares to assassinate him? Isn't it a suicide? Who knows? But the news I got is absolutely true. Cloud Dance micro frown. Listen to a few men on the table. You a word, I a word. Cold eyes covered with a layer of frost. Grasp the finger of the cup unconsciously force. The assassin sneaked into Yunfu and hurt the old man. How can ordinary people hurt the strength of the old man? Cloud Dance half squints eyes, pondering who is the most suspect. Suddenly, her eyes suddenly lifted, and a shadow passed in her mind. Is it her? Fontanesia. It seems that only she has a good reason to move Yunfu. Snow Willow so blatantly in the general's head on the ground. Not afraid to be found? Cloud Dance eyes light dark, eyes suddenly a cold. Is there someone behind this thing? It's a day away from the Imperial City, even if you use the most advanced flying beast. Yunwu was assassinated last night, and the news arrived here at noon today. It seems that the time is not very suitable. Nanganji's calm and cool voice broke the meditation of Cloud Dance. Yes, although there are 2 cities away from the border city, if you want to return to the Imperial City, even with the fastest flying beast, you can't get the news here in half a day. Isn't it? Cloud Dance Mount Bottom am I, in a moment toward just that corner table swept, but found that the people on the table already no trace. It seems that someone deliberately released the news to lead her back to the Imperial City. Nangong, he also looked at the empty table in the corner and looked up at the Cloud Dance. It's estimated that the Imperial City is not very peaceful at this time. Let's go to Longshu country. Although he didn't know the situation in the Imperial City, it didn't mean that he didn't know the hidden danger. The Cloud dances and hears the speech, but ponders over it. The dark flow under the eyes is flickering. Originally, she was going to meet with Long Qingxie, but now she has another thing to consider. No matter whether the news is intentionally released or not, it is estimated that the Cloud family is not very calm now. She may be cold-blooded, But in the end, the Cloud family is her root. If you leave her alone, her grandfather Nanganji looks at Yunwu. Do you want to go back to the Imperial City? Cloud Dance raised her head and drew a bloodthirsty arc like Poppy in the corner of her mouth. Since someone wants me to go back, I will go naturally. Nanganji frowned, knowing that there is danger. Do you want to go back? The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth coldly to put on a cold smile. Dangerous? Where is there no danger around me? If you don't want to be dangerous, you have to solve the dangerous cancer. Nangang, he didn't answer. He took a sip of the cup again. Under the white gauze, he could not see his expression at the moment, but vaguely felt that there was a trace of darkness and dignity in his incorruptible breath. I'll go back to Yinfu first and solve the problem. Please take a message for him. The Cloud dances low mouse sun, the undercurrent that the eye ground shows not surge. I'll go with you. Nangang, he looks at Yunwu, warm and firm. Cloud Dance slightly raised his mouth. Your identity, go back will only make your father difficult to do. Not in a hurry for a while. What's more, I hope you can help him. You. Nangang Yi's indifferent eyes pass a trace of worry. He wanted to say something else, but he was interrupted by Yunwu. Don't worry, it's better to have a spear so as not to kill in a large area. It's not suitable. Cloud danced coldly a smile, the killing intention in Mao Guanglun's. Nangang Yi looks at Yunwu and seems to understand that she will not change her decision. After pondering for a moment, Nangang Yi nodded slightly, put down his teacup, and stood up. Be careful all the way. Cloud Dance looks at the back figure of Nangang Yi leaving. The corner of the mouth slightly raises and gets up to leave the inn. Now the Zhou dynasty has begun to be lively. Since she wants to make the fire more prosperous, she will help her. Wait to set yourself on fire. In the Cloud dancing eyes, a touch of bloodthirsty scarlet flash away. It was outside a forest in the imperial city of the Zhou dynasty. A figure from the flying beast jumped down, sensitive and rapid. On the way, it's the imperial city. Originally, Yunwu wanted to enter the imperial city directly, but at night, there were city guards patrolling in the air, so it was too lazy to bother. Yunwu also planned to enter the city from the land. The night is winding, and the dark woods are gloomy and quiet. Under the cold moonlight, a touch of cool figure. Fast forward in the forest outside the imperial city. All of a sudden, that pair of sharp-eye sun inside flit a touch of cold light. Slightly lift-eyed a glance around. It's murderous. The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to peep out to put on a sneer. It seems still really have preparation but calm. She explored all around with her mental strength and found 5 assassins hiding in the woods, and the eyes full of killing intention were staring at her for a moment. The eyes were as sharp as seeing the prey, and the killing intention was strong. It seems that it has been dormant for a long time, waiting for the prey of Cloud Dance. Unfortunately, what they don't know is that when they think others are their prey, they become the prey in the eyes of others. Sa! Extremely light sound of shuttling. Cloud Dance, but clearly heard. In the next second, the 5 shadows, which overlapped with the night, came like ghosts dancing towards the clouds. They were as light as a swallow and silent. Cloud Dance eyes slightly squint. The corners of the mouth pull out a cold radiance. At the moment when the assassin was close to her, a dense dark purple mist surrounded her body, and her power exploded in an instant. Bang! With the sound of a crash, how did the 5 shadows come and get beaten back? 5 assassins by the cold moonlight, looking at the clouds, cold eyes are surprised. She found them long ago? The Cloud dances the sharp edge of the mouth a yang. Mao Guang swept 5 different direction assassins. Micro frown. The next second, the man in black was entangled by 5 vines. With the sound of pain, he rolled to Yunwu like a toy. Cloud Dance glares at the painful man in black in front of him, and his eyes are covered with bloodthirsty scarlet. Who is your master? The answer to this question she knows. However, she wanted these people to take a message to her, but she didn't want to let one go so easily. If you want to kill, you can cut it. One of the assassins closed his eyes and looked like he was being slaughtered. At the first shot of Yunwu, they knew that they were not her opponents in any case. It's just that what scares them is her strength made them feel more terrible than their master. Even instinctively, they felt their hearts tremble, have backbone. I don't know if there is backbone without bones. The cloud dances from the corner of his mouth and laughs chillingly. It's cold and bloodthirsty and makes the assassin tremble. A hand flick, Cloud Dance calls out Hongling from the space. As soon as Hongling came out, she saw the assassin on the ground and knew that there was meat to eat again. She lay on Yunwu's shoulder and said, "Master, are you really a summoner?" As soon as the man in black saw Hongling, he stuttered and looked at Yunwu. His eyes were surprised, and suddenly he was afraid. "It's said that it's different from what I saw with my own eyes." Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to raise bloodthirsty smile, glanced at assassin one eye. "Don't you know Earlies? It is estimated that the whole mainland of China knows that she is a summoner, and it's impossible for Xuelio's men not to know. You." At the moment, looking at the cold and bloodthirsty Cloud Dance, the man in black wanted to say something, but he couldn't say anything. Cloud Dance draws back the vision, glanced at the red ling on the shoulder one eye, cold way. "He handed over to you." Hongling immediately withdrew from Yunwu's shoulder. In the blink of an eye, the originally small bouquet turned into a huge original shape. The ferocious mouth of its tusks in the night was extremely terrifying. "Master, then I'll eat it." The mouth of Hongling's tusks was thick and dripping. Then, without waiting for Yunwu to open his mouth, he couldn't wait to open his mouth. "Ah!" With a scream, Hongling has dragged the man in black, who is bound by the vine, to one side. Only bones. Just when Hongling wanted to swallow it, the cloud danced a very cold voice, which stopped it from biting. "Eat bones? It's a carnivorous plant, not a dog." "Master." Red Ling wronged, dissatisfied, looking at Cloud Dance, almost a snot a tear. Cloud Dance frowned, Majesty glanced at it. "Take the meat to me quickly." Hongling big mouth wronged a flat, as if pathetic looking at Cloud Dance. However, after touching Yunwu's cold and bloodthirsty eyes, he was so scared that he quickly put away his grievances and worked hard. The other four assassins on the ground heard her words and looked at her eyes as if they were thrilled to see a ghost. Is she the devil? You say, without bones, is there still backbone?" Cloud Dance will Mao Guang lock in another assassin body. Sun smile of pick eyebrow. You kill me, I don't know." The assassin took back his surprised and frightened eyes and tried not to look at the blood on Hongling's side. "I like to have a temper." The Cloud dances with a clear smile, receives a brush, and calls out a little stink from the contract space. "Mama, maybe too long no see." Small stink see Cloud Dance, happy can of strength in her body rub. Cloud Dance's face turned black, pulled the little stink down, glanced at the assassin and said, "Mom, if you want to roast the whole sheep, I'll give it to you." Little Stinky wants to eat after listening to Cloud Dance, and immediately drags away the assassin. After a while, a flash of fire swept up and screamed through the sky. And the temperature in the air, also in the moment. There's a bloody smell. There's a barbecue smell. The remaining three were pale at the moment. They didn't want to see the cruel scene, but they couldn't help looking. In the next question, Yunwu releases by Schwer, and Lan Yu in turn. The assassins were terrified. Is this the ability of multi-series summoners, multi-series contract Warcraft? Choose one and play. That's what Cloud Dance says. Then, there's only one of the three. Cloud Dance looked at the ground, only a man in black. Tone more insipid. Do not know what kind of death do you want to try. The only remaining assassin, watching the other four companions being bitten, burned, ice stabbed, and wind blade cut to pieces, was so shocked in his eyes that he almost had nausea in his stomach that he could not help vomiting. Assassins are determined to commit suicide after the mission fails. However, at this time, he was trapped like rice dumplings, and there was no way to commit suicide. What's more, not everyone is really not afraid of death. In particular, seeing this bloodthirsty girl and her contract animals, it seems that death is not terrible, and it is terrible to be so late. I said, cloud dance, eyes slightly squint, mouth a hook, finally have a know how to cherish the opportunity. Yes, the queen sent us here to kill you. The man in black twisted his eyebrows painfully and lay on the ground, as if he didn't want to see the scene in the distance anymore. Cloud dance, a hook on the corner of the mouth, a touch of cold in the eyes. Glancing at him, she said, "Is the news that something happened to the Cloud family under her command?" Hearing this, the man in black said, "I don't know. It seems that your consciousness is not high either." Suddenly, a wooden sword suddenly appeared in Yunwu's hand, kicking the bodies of the people in black on the ground. The wooden sword slowly approached with an extremely tormenting speed. The feeling of waiting for death so long. The queen sent someone to do it. When the wooden sword poked into the skin of the assassin's chest, he cried out, as if to vent his fear of waiting for death. Cloud danced scarlet eyes, slightly seemed very satisfied with his reaction now. Then Qingling said, "What's the purpose?" "In order to attract you, kill you completely. The assassin is not hiding, will know all the tray out. It seems that did not want to live, just want a cloud dance can give him a happy. Threaten me with Yunfu, and make me compromise, right?" The cloud dance droops the MOU to sneer. The sharp line of the corner of the mouth is more obvious. The assassin nodded and closed his eyes, as if waiting for death. He said all he knew, just for a good time. Suddenly, the assassin fell on his chest, and the sharp and cold feeling disappeared. Suddenly, he opened his eyes and found that the wooden sword on his chest had disappeared. Yunwu also stood up. The assassin's frightened eyes passed a trace of doubt. The next second, the vine around him also loosened. "You can go now. Give her a word for me. I'll take her life." The cloud dances, the Mao light undercurrent surging. After glancing at the assassin, turned to leave. Behind her, there are 4 followers who are full of food, drink, and play. The assassin looked at the distant cloud dance, and there was no response. After experiencing the devil's killing, can he still live? However, if he returns, will he have life? Ma meat. Small stink of fly petal. Jump to cloud dance body. Hand still holding a piece of roast black meat. A face excited will pass the meat to cloud dance. The cloud dances to smell speech. The facial expression suddenly a black. Immediately, the little stink on the body pulled down. Carried in mid-air, a touch of anti-nausea feeling followed. Cold way. Throw it. Xiao Smelly blinked and looked at Yunwu suspiciously, staring at the 2 little fat legs in the air, then raised the meat in his hand. "Isn't Mama hungry meat?" The black line on Yunwu's forehead rises, and it's even more disgusting to see the meat. "Master, that's rabbit meat." Hongling really can't see it anymore. She can't help reminding Yunwu. Didn't the master find that the smelly thing was carrying a rabbit leg? And by Schwer and Lan, you can't help laughing when they see the scene just now. She's always smart. Why didn't she notice this time? Yunwu is stunned when she hears the words. She looks at the rabbit's big muscle in Xiaochou's hand with disgusting eyes. Her forehead turns black. It's really a rabbit leg. Small stink saw cloud dance, eyes no cold light and nausea. Immediately excited up, 2 legs flying in the air, running like the hands of the meat, again to the cloud. Mama. Meat. Yunwu takes the rabbit meat in her hand and puts it in her arms. Looking at her red ears, she has a bad taste in her heart. He realized that she didn't eat human meat, so he roasted rabbit meat. This little thing, although often angry, but really let her not sad Cloud Dance looks at the rabbit meat in the hand and sighs. If these little guys, one by one, could be as considerate as they are now, she would not have a headache. After knowing exactly the purpose of Xuelio, Yunwu rushed back to Yunfu as soon as possible. However, she also wanted to understand that Xuelio had been chasing her secretly for fear of being found out. This time, she made such a big stir and threatened her with Yunfu. There must be something behind this. Maybe it also involves the interests of imperial power. It seems that things are more and more interesting, it's just that what Yunwu doesn't know. The Cloud family encounters an assassin, and the Cloud Master is stabbed. The news is true, not empty. Yunfu. Old Master Miss Nine is back. There was a guard call outside the door. Suddenly, the old man, who was still lying in the hospital bed, sat up and glanced at the door. He said in a loud voice, "What did you say?" "Miss Nine is back." The guard was startled by his loud voice and said again, "Nine witches are back." Cloud Chi Mao light happy color suddenly rises. A lift quilt will get out of bed. Squeak! Just as he was about to get out of bed, the door was pushed open and a cold figure came in. "Grandpa, are you okay?" As soon as Yunwu came into the room, he saw the pale Yunqi. He immediately stepped forward and asked with a slight frown. When Yunqi saw it, he could not help laughing, a circle of wrinkles around his eyes. "It's okay. It's okay. If it wasn't for being beaten by my family, how could the little bunny hurt me?" Yunqi's face twisted, patted her body, and her voice didn't decrease because of the injury. The Cloud dances in the Mao light to pass as silk helpless. Listen to Cloud Chi 100 decibels of big voice, confirmed that he didn't suffer too serious injury. But she was angry at the bottom of her heart, because she just came back to the Cloud home to know that the news of the Cloud home accident was true. So, as soon as she got back to her house, she came to Yunqi's house. However, 9 winches, how did you come back? Yunqi frowns slightly, and her eyes flash. She looks at Yunwu anxiously, although he never asked anything. However, his heart is like a mirror. Many things are very clear in his heart. The 9 girls heard that they had exposed their strength in the competition, which means that they were in the light. She returned to the imperial city. Is not the wolf into the tiger's mouth? Cloud Dance coagulated his one eye, saw the worry in his eyes. The corner of the mouth relieved slightly smile. "Don't worry, I can come back. That means I am sure." Yunqi nodded and his fierce eyes were full of warning. 9 girls, don't worry. Cloud House will always be your backing. If they dare to come, old man, I don't mind loosening my muscles and bones every day, but who dares to move you? I'll absolutely break him up. The Cloud dances and hears the speech, slightly alone. In fact, maybe what she came back to wait for was nothing else but such a sentence. In a word, the recognition and support of the family seems to be enough. However, now her reputation is too loud, whether it's Zidong Girl's enemy or Miss Yunfu's 9. Now she's coming directly to Laojin Yunfu. The Cloud family may not be very peaceful. However, in front of this old man, but unconsciously, as if let her more and more care. Is this old man careless? Naked care moved her? Maybe. If once upon a time, she would not care if there was an accident in Yunfu. But now she put down Longqingxi for the time being and came back in a hurry. For whom? Isn't it just for the person in front of you? Cloud Dance looks down and smiles, as if there's another person you could trust, grandfather. Does the Emperor know this? The Cloud dances. The Mao light passes a cold on, opening a way. It's just an assassin. The Emperor manages everything every day. You don't have to trouble him with this little thing. Yunqi looks at Yunwu suspiciously, with a pair of fierce eyes looking at her. Are people from the Queen's side? How can this girl ask like this? As Yunwu glances at Yunqi's face, which suddenly darkens, and a trace of meditation passes through his eyes. The old man is so smart that he can understand what she said, and she wanted the old man to understand. In the magnificent main hall of the harem. Master, she's back. The assassin who assassinated Yunwu bowed his head respectfully. Xuelio squints her beautiful eyes and looks at the embarrassed breath of the assassin. She suddenly understands that the assassin failed. The snow willow eye ground passes a cold idea. How can she let you go? The assassin felt the chill in Xuelio's words. He could not help but cool his back and lowered his head deeper. He asked me to bring a word to the master. What's that? Shuelyo sips tea and looks at the assassin blandly. The assassin pondered for a long time and didn't say anything. It seems that I dare not say. I beg your pardon. The snow willow glanced at him, and her beautiful eyes were plain. She said she'll take your life. Bang! As soon as the assassin's voice fell, he flew out in a straight line and hit the table and chair in the distance. There was a clatter. In the snow willow beautiful eyes, the chill appeared, and a void forced the distant man in black out of breath. Until the man in black was about to suffocate and roll his eyes. Snow willow just relaxed some strength. Beautiful Mao in the chilly and angry. Informed Cloud Mansion. Tomorrow hold a banquet. I want to let her leave life to me first. Yes, the assassin in black said difficultly and respectfully. Shuelyo took back the strength of emptiness, picked up the teacup on the table, and continued to taste it. It seemed that everything just happened was just an episode, and it didn't exist at all. But her anger and could not be completely hidden. 2 failures, but also the whole body back, your head in the left once. Snow Willow's slender fingers stroked the wine glass, and the tone was just like that cup of tea. Yes, I'm leaving. The man in black was hoarse and uncomfortable. After his voice answered, he reluctantly stood up, slightly bowed his head, turned, and left quickly. Shuelyo glances at the man in black who left, and the killing intention emerges in his purple eyes. In another palace of the Imperial Palace, Zhou Feiyu was thinking about something there. Your Highness, the queen is going to give a banquet to Yunwu girl. Wu Han came to Zhou Feiyu and told him the words of monitoring the queen. Zhou Feiyu smells speech. Mao Guang awe-inspiring a cold. Then look back to 5 cold. Think of a way to let her not come. 5 cold 1 lung. In the eye schemes a touch of worry. It's a critical moment now. Your Highness will do it for that girl again. Wu Han was about to say something, but he could touch Zhou Feiyu's warning eyes, so he shut up. Finally, I had to nod and leave. Zhou Feiyu stood up and stood in front of the window with dignity that could not be ignored. Entering the palace is like falling into a swamp. You can't help yourself. Whoever saves will die. But to her, he can't help the next day. Early in the morning, imperial edict came from the palace, saying that the empress had a banquet for Miss Yun Jiajio. Cloud Dance looks at the imperial edict and sneers. Do you want to start first? Since it's an edict, you can't disobey it. Yunwu made up and went to the palace with her father-in-law. Halfway through the carriage, Yunwu suddenly felt a strong sense of killing, and her eyes suddenly became cold. Is it true that there are too many enemies? You'll find revenge everywhere. Hiss! In an instant, the galloping carriage stopped abruptly. The momentum increases instantly, and Yunwu is not thrown out because it is on guard. Then she heard a scream from the next carriage. When I opened the curtain, I found that the father-in-law in another carriage was thrown out and rolled on the ground. The cloud dances the corner of mouth Yang, then lift the MOU to glance to the person who stops the carriage, Mao Guang a cold. Is there only one person? Who on earth is this man? How dare you stop all the carriages in the palace? Leave the woman in the car and spare your life. A touch of extremely cold voice into the ears of several people. I don't think you want to live. Somebody take it from me? Thrown out of the father-in-law, angry, glancing at an orchid finger, Hate said. Suddenly, a touch of cold light twinkled the eyes of Cloud Dancing. When she opened her eyes 1 second later, more than a dozen bodyguards who rushed up had been killed and fell into a pool of blood. Cloud Dance star, eyes tiny mi, a touch of blade cold on moment across the eye's bottom. This person has a kind of Warcraft breath, is a very subtle feeling Cloud Dance can feel. This kind of breath is not his own. Instead, it seems to be formed over time with Warcraft for a long time. Blue talent, middle stage of whooshing, how can you? My father-in-law looked at the bodyguard who fell down in an instant. His eyes were staring with fear, pointing to the man who stammered and couldn't speak. Suddenly, the cold light came again. Poof! Blood spattered. In an instant, the father-in-law fell to the ground. Cloud Dance looked at this scene coldly, glanced at the dead father-in-law on the ground, then looked back at the man. The Mao light inside flits over a touch of chill, indifferent way. Who catches me? The man put his eyes as flat as a mirror on Yunwu and said coolly, I have no malice. I just hope Miss Yunjio can follow me. The man's attitude was extremely respectful, and his words were sincere, no malice. Cloud Dance sneers and glances at the bodyguard in the pool of blood. There's no malice against her, but she's demonstrating and threatening, isn't she? The cloud dances, the eye ground spreads scarlet, the remnant shadow fleets in an instant, attack toward that person. Well, power whirl, sharp as a blade, a shadow was instantly hit fly, for a long time to stop. That person barely can still stand steadily, looking at Cloud Dance, sulky eyes, suddenly surprised. When he saw the shadow of Cloud Dance, he began to resist it, but it was not faster than her after all. Is it really as powerful as the legend? In that case, don't blame me for being rude. The man's face turned black and his eyes turned cold. Suddenly, he took out a whistle from his arms and blew it. All of a sudden, Yunwu felt a strange smell. Her eyes suddenly lifted. Thoughts spread. How can so familiar? When the whistle stopped, for Warcraft appeared around the man. Cloud Dance calm eyes. It seems that these Warcraft are tamed, but also with the original offensive, are 5-level Warcraft. Suddenly, the man's palm pushed, and 4 Warcraft danced towards the cloud in an instant. A vigorous, purposeful, and strategic attack is like a deliberate training. The cloud dances the eye in a moment to brush over an undercurrent. Originally, is he? No wonder she thought, how so familiar. At the beginning, in Luoshui City, in the Warcraft forest on the outskirts of Morong's home, the Warcraft troops in the Warcraft training ground. It's Zhou Feiyu. He sent someone to stop her? Why? Under the attack of the 4 Warcraft, Yunwu's figure swept away and hid, but he could not help frowning again and glanced back at the man. Although the attacks of these Warcraft are swift and violent, they are not bloody. It can be seen that this man is not malicious. However, Cloud Dance's eyes are slightly cool. No matter what, she doesn't like being threatened. In this case, these Warcraft should also learn a lesson. Have fun. I'll go back first. The man looked at the Warcraft fighting with Cloud Dance, said a word, and left in the air. Cloud Dance Mao light sharp coagulate one eye that figure. So walked? Does he really think these Warcraft can stop her? Or is he deliberately delaying her time? The cloud dances. The eyes flash a little cool. The bloodthirsty sneer at the corner of the mouth appears. The black flame sword in the hand appears instantly, and the strong breath of power condenses all around. The dark purple air instantly envelopes the dagger, which is compatible with the black flame and is more and more burning. The cloud is waving a big knife, and its speed is like lightning. Who with the unique strong power of Dageo, we can gallop at a high speed. For a moment, Warcraft's body was cut open by a big knife, revealing a ferocious wound. Cloud Dance put the eye light on one of the Warcraft, and the essence light in the eyes flashed by. But at this time, the dragon roll in my mind is full of golden light, and suddenly a message flashes out. The ordinary level 5 spirit beast in the upper world contains elixir in its body. After eating it, it can improve its own spirit power, get along with other spirit beasts, and instantly recover its spirit power to the peak after being injured. When you get along with other spirit beasts, can you instantly restore your spirit power? This ability is still a little bit of what, however. If you think about a group of spirit beasts following you, you will feel very safe. Yunwu looks at the only Warcraft that has not been hurt by the sword Shi, and the light of his eyes is more and more bright. This week, Feiyu's men have Warcraft in the upper world. Although it's a common level 5 Warcraft in the upper world, it's really rare to have such great spiritual power. So, unexpectedly, all sent to the door. How can she just let go of the truth? The Warcraft's body is surrounded by dense spiritual power, just like a protective film, to block all attacks for it. I'll take the elixir of this good thing. The cloud dances the big knife a flash, and the eye peeps out the fine on that can't be pressed urgently. It seems that I'm really interested to have a quick try. What's the taste of the elixir of the spirit beast in the upper world? Just as Yunwu's broadsword roared away, the spirit beast roared and sent out a powerful spirit force, which immediately collided with the broadsword in Yunwu's hand. The cloud dances the Mao light tiny mi. She can feel the spirit beast powerful, incredibly can compete with the big knife's own strength. It's really a good thing. The cloud dance water element wraps the dagger and stabs the spirit beast's defense with the dagger. A little bit of penetration, strong power condensation, that belongs to the water element and the power of the sword condensation. The whole half of the sky is a color. The spirit beast gradually resisted and began to slide back. Cloud Dance looks at spirit beast, Phoenix Mount Tiny Me rises. I can resist the joint attack of the two for so long. See if you can resist this. Suddenly, the cloud danced, and a dark purple light suddenly appeared, which immediately attacked the sword. Bang! A dull sound of impact kept turning. The spirit beast has been knocked down by the powerful force, struggling for several times, as if it can't get up, a pair of eyes staring at the cloud. Cloud Dance mouth died a touch of radiant, step by step toward the spirit beast. Can you resist? The spirit beast seemed to understand her, and her struggling body suddenly froze. The other three beasts, seeing that their companions had been beaten to flight, all of them, with their tusks in their arms, attacked steadily and flew like flying, and rushed to the clouds with ferocious momentum. Schwa! A black cold light across. Jump in the air of Warcraft. Figure meal, bang fell on the ground. The dust is flying. The breath is abrupt and sharp. The Warcraft on the ground is twitching, and the eyes looking at the clouds are extremely scared. Cloud Dance once again put the eyes on the spirit beast, died with a bloodthirsty smile. Black flame across the sky. A wave of a fall. The hands have more than a crystal thing. Blood, dyed purple, red eyes. Cloud Dance looks at the elixir in the hand. Eyes light mi. The elixir emits green light, just like an emerald. You can clearly see that the green spiritual power inside is constantly rotating, just like a continuous reservoir. This is the elixir? Cloud Dance takes the elixir back into the space, and the light of eyes passes by a touch of meditation. This is the elixir of a common level 5 spirit beast. It has the effect of quickly recovering from serious injuries. If it is the elixir of level 6, level 7, or even higher spirit beasts, can you recover quickly as long as you don't die? Is it helpful to the evil body of dragon? Yunwu glances at the spirit beast on the ground and takes the contemplative look. If this is the case, it would be great. However, Cloud Dance raises Mao to see to the father-in-law who has died. A cold frost appears on the face. It seems that we can't go to the palace today. Well, let's go back to Yunfu. Anyway, at this moment, there are still people watching in the dark, and they will naturally explain the whole story to the person they should explain. When Yunwu returned to Yunfu, he found that the whole Yunfu atmosphere became a little dignified and depressed, and he could not help frowning slightly. What happened? Cloud Dance asks a servant girl. Miss Huijio, the emperor has just issued a decree saying that the general used his power for personal gain and behaved suspiciously. He took back the talisman of the general. Now the general has. Cloud Dance listened to words. Mao Guang ami. Turned round to walk toward Cloud Chi's room past. Using power for personal gain? Suspicious? It's funny to hear that. As soon as she saw Yunqi's room, she saw that Yunqi was lying in the pavilion at the door, so she quickly walked over. When Yunqi heard that someone was coming, he sat up. When he saw that it was Yunwu, his eyes were very happy. Nine girl, didn't you go to the palace? Cloud Dance coagulates Yunqi's reaction at this time, and her eyes pass a trace of doubt. Thinking of the man who blocked the way, he nodded his head and said, I didn't go. I didn't go well. Cloud Chi is pulling big voice, immediately happy smile. His happy appearance made Yunwu more confused. It's said that the emperor ordered to accept the military amulet of Yunfu. The cloud dances slightly to pick eyebrow. The Mao light flits past a cold on that is not easy to detect. Yunqi's face suddenly changed when he heard the words, and his smile gradually turned into anger. Lu Jiang won that bastard. He joined your father's book. The country leader's biggest fear is the people who rely on themselves to be too high and use their power for personal gain. In order to be on the safe side, he paid your father's talisman first. Now Yunfu is an ordinary house. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a touch of cold doubt. Lu Jiang wins? Frost's father? Why did he do that? She has been wondering how Frosse could be poisoned by ice cold when she was so young. Now think about it. If Lu Jiangwen did something, thus implicating the young Frosse, it is not impossible. And the poison of Frosse is the chip to control Lu Jiang to win. Who is the person who controls Lu Jiang and poisons Xuanze? An idea flashed through her mind that this matter had something to do with Xuelio, however. As an important official in the court, Yunfu has always been loyal. How could he be cut off because of Liu Jiang's win? It's too hasty. There's only one possibility. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to fling a cold smile. This result is the result that the emperor hopes. Lu Jiang's win, however, just happened to hit the emperor's heart. So the emperor pushed the boat with the current from ancient times to the present. The emperor's greatest fear is that the high achievers are superior to the masters. However, it seems that Yun Lingyi has not achieved the level of being superior to others. That is, Shi Yunwu glances at Yunqi, and her eyes light up. With Yunqi's shrewdness, he will not miss the emperor's reason for doing so, and he must know what the emperor is afraid of. If not, Yunwu sees nothing to do in Yunqi's eyes generations of loyal to serve the country, but in exchange for cutting power fear. Why not feel cold? However, for Cloud Dance, the Cloud family's heart, cold good. Cloud Dance back to the room. It's night. Looking at the clear moonlight, I can't help thinking. This naked power cutting has reached the point where there is no loyalty at all. Coupled with her reasons, it seems that there are only two ways to go in Yunfu in the future. Either fight back or die. Or she died. However, she always cherishes her life. It's impossible for her to die. But the Cloud family, she also gradually had cared about the person, wants to destroy the Cloud family. Also absolutely impossible. Only the night was cold, and the pale moonlight lit up the dark sky, yellow. On the roof of Yunfu's house, more than a dozen shadows appeared to spy on the movement of Yunfu. Cloud Dance is now in front of the window. The sharp star eyes are dyed with the clear moonlight. The room is dark. Under the moonlight, her figure is particularly hazy. More than a dozen shadow see the patrol from the bodyguard. As soon as the figure was swept away, the sword was wielded. The sword was shining in the moonlight, whirling in the air, wiping the wind and howling, and attacking the bodyguard straightly. That you're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.